Von Diva and all the raiders, welcome in. My name is the True Salt King. If you don't know me, I am a variety streamer. We play all sorts of stuff. Tonight we are going to be playing a visual novel called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It's super chill and vibey and really, really wholesome. Oh wait, no, it doesn't need to be adjusted. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. It just needs to be maximized. There we go. Alright. Every level of Sonic CD feels like a carnival level too many springs. See, it's funny. A lot of people name Sonic CD as like their favorite Sonic game, and I think it's a great game, but it is not my favorite. I find it lacks Sonic 2's charm, and it doesn't have Sonic 3's finesse. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of this game. Oh, that's amazing. I've never played Sonic CD, not properly anyway. That's fair. I mean, it's kind of hard to get your hands on, right? What about Sonic 3D? Sonic 3D Blast? I'm glad that I know Traveler's Tales made other games, because Traveler's Tales did a horrible, horrible job with that game. It was interesting, but it didn't feel like a Sonic game. If it was reskinned as another character, or even a new IP, I would have loved it. But it wasn't a Sonic game, and it didn't feel like a Sonic game. You do know about the Secret Imagine Sonic, though? Oh my god, that shit is wild. That shit is wild. And it does take a little while to get used to the time travel stuff, Sombra, I do agree. So, did Sonic Team use Majin Sonic in the Halloween art? Holy fuck, I missed that. That's so good. So, we have one more DLC to do in step 1. Apparently, this little story is a bit of a sad one. So I'm hoping, you know, we're going to start on a bit of a downer, but then we're going to pick it back up when we start step 2. That's my hope. But let's do this one called Runaway, which I have a funny feeling I know what this one's going to vaguely be about. And thank y'all for being here. And let's read some stories. And it's going to be a good time. Everyone thought it was from Friday Night Funkin'? Oh, wow. As usual, let me know if the volume is good. I think the levels are good tonight, but if they aren't, please, please tell me. Am I missing anything important? Nope, we good. Alright, let's do this. Come on, Hare, behave. Work with me, Hare. Thank you. Let's go. It was early, and you were on your way to the playground. Lizzie planned on joining you there later. You weren't sure what she was busy with right now. Older kid stuff, you imagined. Game is a tiny bit on the quiet side. You say the music is a bit loud. Yeah, because like when I start reading, I read a little bit softer than I talk. Alright, let's do this for now. Let's do this for now. You weren't sure what she was busy with right now. Older kid stuff, you imagined. That was okay. What was forefront in your mind was if Cove might be free to come too. As you walked the familiar street, wondering how you might find your neighbor, he appeared right in front of you, almost as if he was a mind reader. Hi, Cove. Can you come to the playground with me?
No.
No, sorry. Cove looked strangely serious. It had to be an even bigger deal than whatever mystery thing Lizzie had to do. I'm leaving, Cygnus. What? Where? He shifted, and your gaze was drawn to the backpack slung over his shoulders. Cove liked to stuff things into his pockets from what you've seen. But people sometimes carried bags with them. It hadn't been very attention-worthy until now. He shitted. Phasma, what's good? I don't think he did. I think he ran. I think he's running. The pack was decorated with cartoon waves and dolphins. He gripped one of the straps tightly with his good hand. I just wanted you to know. Cove didn't glance up and meet your eyes. You started to grow worried. Where are you going? He didn't answer. It was as if you hadn't said anything. I'll come back, though, sometime. I don't know when, but we can do stuff then. He directed a fragile smile your way. Without another word, Cove turned on his heel and started to walk away. Wait! He kept going. His focus wasn't on you anymore. What was that about? You watched as his back grew smaller and smaller. Then you realized you were still standing in the middle of the sidewalk. You thought about your earlier plan of playing at the park. Suddenly, it didn't seem fun anymore, not without Cove. But it wasn't like you could force him to play with you. You had things to do. Or he had things to do. You went to play at the park. You stayed there. You could play at the park some other time. It wasn't like it was going anywhere, and you couldn't bring yourself to leave like this. You didn't move from your spot. You just continued to look on quietly. It didn't take long to realize that he was just going up the street. You were positive there was nothing good over there. Not the park, or the beach, or the store street, or his house, or anything. He was new. He might not know what you did. You jogged down the street to catch up to him. You slowed down once you reached his side. He glanced at you from the corner of his eye and frowned. Go away, Cygnus. I just wanted to say you're going the wrong way. There aren't any places the way you're going. His mouth twisted further. He didn't appreciate your warning. I'm still going. Why? What are you doing? Walking. Why do you have to walk that way? Cove let out a deep sigh. You got the feeling he was starting to get mad at you. I told you, I'm leaving. I'm gonna be gone for a while. Still want to go with you. You can't. Why not? Cove came to a sudden stop. You almost kept walking ahead of him because you weren't expecting it. My dad doesn't know. If you come, you'll get in trouble when he finds out. You felt a knot start to grow in your stomach. You're not supposed to be leaving? His expression was grave. He shook his head. Dad isn't home right now. I left him a letter so he won't get confused when he gets back. But you can't tell anybody about this, okay? You can pretend you never saw me. I still want to go. I don't care if I get in trouble. Yeah, I'm not letting you go alone. Don't do it all by yourself. Cove's hard expression wavered. As a parent, I'm getting so mad at Cove right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, no kid. Nobody wants their kid to fucking run away, right? Cove's hard expression wavered. You could tell that he hadn't expected you to say that.
Really?
Really? You don't think it's a bad idea or something? But also, I want to give him a great big hug. Yeah, it's hard, right? Because you know that this is coming from a place of hurt. I don't know, but if you're doing it anyway, I should too. It's not a big deal, right? We're gonna have fun. Nope, it's like we're going on an adventure. His lips curved into a smile.
Okay.
Okay, you can come. You grinned, pleased that he gave in so easily. You thought it might take longer since he was so set on going alone. Now we're both gonna get in shit. Luckily, summer's over. You turned a bit in the middle of the sidewalk, and so did Cove when he saw. You pointed over your shoulder with a thumb. Let's go to my house first. I can get a backpack. We can't, sorry. We're gonna be away, I better take some stuff. It's not that. I don't want our parents to catch us. Your moms could think it's weird we have bags. They might ask. We don't have a lot of time anyway. He motioned to his backpack, patting it with his hand. Its front bulged out slightly.
It's okay.
Don't worry, I packed snacks. It'll be alright. You wished you could bring your backpack along just to be safe, but his explanation made sense. Alright, we can leave. Cove smiled. He seemed to be in much better spirits than when you first ran into him. You were glad. He wasn't always this upbeat. That was fine though, otherwise he wouldn't be Cove, but you liked seeing him smile. Cove took the first step, and you mirrored him. As one, both of you ran up the street. You were off into unknown territory. Oh, we're gonna get in so much shit. You ran through the first few neighborhoods like that, your feet pounding on concrete. Whenever one of you got tired, you'd take a break for a minute. The moment there was a sound, you'd be off again, in case someone you knew might realize what you were up to. Because of how cautious you were, the two of you didn't run into anyone, not even other kids enjoying their summer. Baby left Terrace as a juvenile delinquent and demanding. I mean, that's also true. It was like you had suddenly become criminals, always worried if someone was on your tail. As tense as it was, you were still glad when you got the opportunity to take a proper break. Cove waited for you to stop once you got out of the residential district. The houses disappeared, broad storefronts taking their place. You were all the way in the business part of town. This was the first time you'd come here on foot. Before, one of your moms always drove you to this place in their car. Cove leaned up against a nearby tree and wiped sweat off his forehead. You braced your hands on your knees, breathing hard. You looked over at the road ahead. We're so far. A strange expression flickered across Cove's face at your words before he nodded. You spoke again, still huffing. My mums bring me and Lizzie here for shopping. Yeah, I've never been here before, not without Dad. You looked pleased by that. We're doing good. It's not even nighttime. You were starting to feel good about it too. Hell yeah, let's go on an adventure, fuck it. It was weird and worrying to be here without your parents, but kinda cool too. You didn't even think Lizzie had been this far by herself. Sure, you were here with Cove, so you weren't alone, but still, this was turning out to be a good time. Cove slid his backpack off and unzipped it. You watched curiously as he stuffed a hand in and searched for something. To your delight, he pulled out 2 juice boxes and offered one to you. Here. Thank you, I was getting thirsty. The two of you took a moment to unwrap the straws and poke them into the special part of the box. The juice was warm, but still good. You sighed contentedly after your first sip. Your throat was beginning to ache from how dry it had gotten. It really had been a while since this all started. You took another sip of your juice, and your gaze drifted to Cove's bag. He hadn't closed it yet. What else is in there? There's still a few juice boxes left. He peered inside and began to list off the items as he spotted them. I got some snacks from the kitchen too. Chips, muffins, bananas, candy. That was already a lot, but he kept excavating more. I took a couple of clothes, a flashlight, a first aid kit for my dad's bathroom, and a blanket. Oh, and some money my dad gave me a while ago that I hadn't spent yet. Your mouth made a small O halfway through the lengthy list. These kids better fucking hydrate. Yeah, clearly. You brought a lot of stuff. I wouldn't have thought to grab a flashlight or a first aid kit. I told you I was going away. He didn't know what to say to that. The little smile Cove had been wearing earlier was gone by now, like it had never been there in the first place. You watched as he zipped up his backpack and slipped it on. He started walking without a single glance over at you, though he did still take small, unhappy sips of his juice. You can't drink for 4 hours straight tomorrow. Oh, that's annoying. For some time, the two of you went forward in complete silence. The more ground you covered, the more serious Cove seemed to become. He hadn't looked at you or said anything in a while. He had just taken your empty juice box from you and stowed it away in his bag, and that was it. You knew there had to be more to all this. The sun dislodged itself from its place in the sky, dipping lower and lower. The street lamps came on, as if they were anticipating nightfall. You kept walking. Even if it was late, you weren't ready to turn back, and neither was Cove. The two of you continued to trudge past the storefronts. Silence fell over you again. You had no idea how to break it, or if you even wanted to. People had said this was a really tiny town, but to you, it felt absolutely gigantic. Eventually, the business part of town ended too. There was no sidewalk anymore, only a long expanse of road. You walked on the grass instead. Not even that was enough to stop him. Onward was the only option. Your journey stubbornly continued. The hunch you had about Cove's possible destination soon became certainty. There was only one way out of town, after all. Your feet hurt, you were tired, and the two of you didn't have any parents with you, but somehow you had reached the very edge of Sunset Bird. That's what the sign told you. You had lived in Sunset Bird forever, and it was a very rare occasion that you'd see this sign. Most everything in your life happened inside the city limits. The endless road ahead seemed scary in a way. It paralyzed you. You glanced at Cove. You had made it here just before nightfall, but now what? Outside of town, there was nothing. How would he get to where he wanted to go? Cove, however, didn't falter. He kept walking. As he neared the sign, he finally stopped. That was a relief. He took off his backpack and sat down, crossing his legs beneath him. You lowered yourself beside the boy as he zipped his bag open and rummaged through it again.
Whoa.
What snack do you want? You were almost taken aback by his voice. It had been a while since you last heard it. Pursing your lips, you recalled the snacks he had listed off earlier. I want a muffin. He pulled out 2 muffins. After passing you your food, he took a big bite out of the top of his muffin. You peered over at your friend. He stared at the path still ahead with a solemn expression. You turned away. The sun had set some time after you both finished eating. Now it was dark, apart from the faint moonlight. You watched as Cove grabbed the flashlight from his bag. What are we gonna do? Sleep out here?
I guess.
I guess. He was speaking defensively again. Cove flicked the flashlight on. A beam of light cut through the darkness, weakly illuminating the area you sat in. You pulled your knees up to your chest, wrapping your arms around them. You weren't cold. Summer nights were always still sort of warm. You just felt like it. Is it okay if I ask something? Cove's focus didn't waver from the road, but he nodded. Why do you want to leave Sunset Bird so bad? At first, Cove was quiet. You started to think he wouldn't say anything. Then he spoke. My mom called today to check up on me and stuff. She asked what Sunset Bird was like and how I was doing. It was okay. But when I asked if she'll come here, Mom said she couldn't. I can't go back either. Not right now. She has to move to somewhere else first. Cove glared at the ground. His voice cracked as he continued.
It's not fair.
Why can't I even see her anymore? He used his uncasted arm to rub both of his eyes. I'm gonna go myself. I don't need anyone to take me. Are you gonna get to your mom's place? That's such a bad idea. It was all too much and you started to cry. Do you know the directions to your old house? You're being selfish. How are you gonna get there? He just wanted to see his mom. Maybe you would have had the idea to run away too if you were Cove, but that doesn't mean it will work. I'll walk there. I brought supplies. Isn't it really far? Cove was silent for a moment. You poked a hole in his perfect plan. Do we know what happened to his kid? Parent divorce? We don't know exactly. We haven't been told the details yet because we're still getting it from the perspective of our age because we're also a kid, right? But it is very clear that his parents aren't together. He and his dad moved here this summer, and he hasn't seen his mom since. But we don't know why. We don't know the details yet. Then he shook his head, like he was trying to clear it. When he spoke some more, it was mostly to himself. If I don't go see Mom, then she's... Fresh tears glistened in Cove's red-rimmed eyes. He stubbornly tried to blink them away, but they slipped down his cheeks. Oh, he's so sad. Oh my god. Poor kid. You frowned at the sight. No matter what, you hated seeing him cry. Yeah, Cove just wants his mom. Like, sometimes Cove can be, like, a bit of a jerk, but, like, it's kind of understandable. He's gone through a lot, and it, you know, it's hard to process just not being able to see your mom. Thank you for the 07s. What'll happen? Mom doesn't call that much, and I haven't seen her in so long. Cove hiccuped, wiping away his face with the back of his arm. His glasses got shoved up awkwardly as a result. If I don't go, she'll be gone. She'll forget about me. She wouldn't do that. How do you know? She's your mom. She loves you. Your mom's always said that, so it must be true for Cove's mom, too. Cove sniffled. He seemed conflicted. I'm not sure if that's right. You were at a standstill. Then we'll stay out here. I'm not going to go back. We can't stay forever. And we can't go out there. We've got to go back. Everything will be okay if we just go home. Yeah. Cove's not going to like this response, but we've kind of come as far as we can go. Cove's brows furrowed, a scowl appearing on his lips. He turned away from you. You stared at his back. You just couldn't stop. Please, Cove. After a few minutes of sullen silence, Cove twisted back around. He wouldn't look you in the eye. Okay, let's go. I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want something bad to happen. Was he doing it for you? That gave you a warm feeling inside, even if you wished he didn't want to leave in the first place. And that was that. Together, you walked away from the exit sign. Your feet hurt a lot by this point, and you were so tired. But you'd convinced him. You were bringing Cove home, and that's what mattered. On the long walk back, it was only thanks to the occasional street lamp and faint moonlight that you could see in the dark night. You were content to stick close together. Sometimes your drowsy walking caused you to almost bump into the other. The back of your hand brushed his. You held onto Cove's hand. You noticed Cove took hold of your hand, and you shook your head to try to wake yourself up. I want Cove to hold our hand for once. It's very rare that Cove takes the lead on this, so I'm going to let him do it. Cove glanced at you sheepishly. His fingers curled around your palm, and you held on in response. The two of you continued down the street, hand in hand. You weren't sure how much time passed. All you knew was one moment you were fighting the drooping of your eyelids while shuffling near Cove on the sidewalk, and the next you were snapped back to attention by the blaring beep of a horn. Cove froze. You whipped around to see a car approaching you. It was difficult to make out who it was. The headlights were so blinding. Instead of continuing down the road, the car slowed near where you sat. The car rolled down the window, revealing the face behind the wheel. It was very familiar. Mom! She shouted back, and not just because there was some distance between you and her. Where have you kids been? I've been looking everywhere for you. I was trying to help Cove. She stopped looking at you, instead staring hard straight ahead. Both her hands were gripping the wheel. In turn, Cove gripped your hand tighter. This was hard to face. Yep, I'm definitely Mom. I mean, this is a valid parent response. Parents not overreacting even a little bit here. In fact, surprisingly good about it so far. Guilt ate you up from the inside.
All right.
Get in. Let's get you two home. That, at least, made her showing up worth it. Your feet were aching like crazy from all the walking you'd done today. You yanked open the side door, slipped in the back seat, and then clambered over so Cove had enough room to climb into. He followed in wordlessly, tucking his backpack near his feet. Your mom looked at you and Cove from the rearview mirror. The two of you had us extremely worried. That wasn't a good thing to do. Not at all. Shamefaced, you both nodded as one.
Sorry.
Sorry, Mrs. Downey. Sorry, Mom. She softened immediately. Not enough to actually let it go, though. You'll have to apologize to everyone else, too. With that, Mom started the car up again, and you were off. For the rest of the car ride, no one said anything. You thought all of you were pretty tired. In fact, you must have dozed off at some point because you woke up to the sound of the engine stopping. When you opened your eyes, you realized Cove was looking over at you. He was tense. We're back. You yawned and got out of the car. Cove came out after, putting his backpack on again. Mom locked the car door and motioned you towards the house. She opened the front door and let you in first. Mommy appeared quickly. She must have been waiting nearby. There was a phone in her hand. It worried you, thinking about who she might have been talking to. The tight line of her shoulders relaxed when she saw you and Cove. Oh, thank goodness, you found both of them. Yes, I did. They were walking down the main street together. What were you two doing there this time of night? Do you have any idea how far that is? How unsafe? You peeked at Cove. He still looked exhausted. His eyes were puffy and there were dried tear tracks stuck to his cheeks. I had to see my mom. Cygnus didn't want me to go alone. Your own mom shared a look. You weren't sure what it meant, but they always did that. You wondered if they could read each other's minds. Since they were communicating telepathically, you stole a glance around the room. Lizzie wasn't anywhere in sight. Where was she? She must have finished whatever she was doing that morning ages ago. Where's Lizzie? Your sister's in her room, fast asleep, the same way you should have been. She went out earlier to look for the two of you when she accidentally found you. Wow. Let's try that again. She went out earlier to look for the two of you when she accidentally found out you were both missing. She tried to pretend otherwise, but you made her sick with worry. She said she checked all the hiding places she could think of, but couldn't find either of you. You and Cove exchanged remorseful glances at that. Mommy noticed the discomfort.
Okay.
You two must be sleepy. You can sit down wherever you like. Mommy smiled warmly and motioned to the living room. Cove looked up at her and then lumbered over. You followed close behind. The living room wasn't far, or separated by a wall, so you heard your moms talking softly. Wanted to go see his mother. Poor thing.
Well,
That explains it, at least. Still, I'm not sure it excuses it. It was so dangerous to go off into town like that. He's having a hard time right now. You can't expect a child to handle it maturely. True, it can't be helped. But that's enough of that. We should tell Cliff and the others that he's here before the panic gets out of hand. There could be riots.
Is that all right?
I'll call, then go to the front to tell everyone's still out there. You keep an eye on the kids. Make sure they don't take any more trips today. Got it, hun. Cove just sat there on the couch, setting his backpack down beside him. He stared at his hands. This is so weird. What is? Everyone was looking for me. They all know I tried to leave. I kinda want to run away and not come back this time, so I don't have to see them again. Please never run away again. Cove looked guilty for even suggesting that, despite it not being serious. I won't. Not for real. Spectrum, how you doing? Welcome to the Feels Times. How you doing? Thank you for that shout-out, Pint. Hell yeah. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing the visual novel. We're in a bit of a sad story part. Our best friend Cove tried to run away from home, and but we're home now and we're safe. But it definitely had everybody scared. So we're having a tense, dramatic moment right now. How you doing? How's your night going? Before you could say anything else, the front door opened. Your mom was back, with Mr. Holden close behind her. He made a beeline for the couch, his gaze trained on his son.
Cove?
Cove, God, are you alright? Strands of his hair had fallen out of his ponytail. His eyes were darkened, like he'd been crying too. Cove stared up at his dad, his own eyes wide behind the frames of his glasses. He really hadn't expected it to be such a big deal. I'm okay. Good, that's good. I'm so glad to hear it. He clasped a hand on his son's shoulder, attempting a smile, but the corners of his lips twitched and spasmed as if they wanted to wilt into a frown instead. Cove seemed to have that effect on him. Mr. Holden turned to you, still smiling weakly. I'm so happy you're all right too, Cygnus. Then he looked at your moms. Thanks for your help, as always. He laughed pitifully.
I'm sorry.
And I'm very sorry for ruining your afternoon with this. I can't apologize enough.
It's okay.
It was no trouble, Cliff, really. It couldn't be helped in a way. Something was bound to happen sometime. Besides, he wasn't the only one who decided it was a good idea to disappear today. Exactly. We're just happy the kids are safe and sound. Not for the first time that day, you recalled your original meeting with Cove. He had run away then, too, only not as far as he had today. Cove must have had a similar thought, because he mumbled an apology. Sorry, Dad, I won't leave anymore. Promise. Some life seemed to return to Mr. Holden thanks to his promise. This time around, the smile was more genuine.
I'm so glad.
That's a relief to hear. Next time you feel like running off, come to me first, okay? We can talk about it. I'm here for you. Cove nodded. His dad reached out and mussed his hair playfully. Although he made a face, Cove didn't try to dodge the hand as he usually did. Let's go home, bud. I bet you're as tired as I am. Mr. Holden took over carrying Cove's backpack, still clasping a free hand over his son's shoulder when he stood up from the couch. The five of you walked over to the front door so you could see them off. Mr. Holden thanked your moms profusely at least 3 more times before he walked out the door. Cove was made to follow. But he stopped and turned to you before stepping through the threshold.
Thanks.
Thanks, Cygnus. You're welcome, Cove. Tiny smile flitted across his lips, there, and then gone. Yeah, we had an adventure. We're hugging him. We're hugging him. I don't care. I'm a fucking hugger. It happens. Before he was gone, you reached over to give him a hug goodbye after the hard day. He held you back more tightly than you could have anticipated, and you almost squeaked out a noise. I'm glad you're here. His embrace was tight but brief. He let go as soon as he said what he wanted to. And with that, Cove left. Mommy closed the door behind them. You were practically dead on your feet at that point. Your fatigue must have been obvious, because your mom sent you right to bed with no more discussion on what happened that day. Hey Mikey, big hugs to you as well. Oh, all the warm feels in chat right now. Your eyelids were so heavy you couldn't open them again until the next morning. You woke up much more at ease than you had felt when you were last conscious. It almost felt like it was a dream. But it definitely wasn't. Your mom's faces when you saw them assured that. After breakfast, you were sat down, and your family went over yesterday's events in full. They were none too pleased that you joined Cove despite knowing he wanted to leave. As punishment, your moms took away your TV privileges for the next few days. Lizzie was annoyed that she couldn't watch her shows with you around, but she adjusted. Whenever you expressed disappointment, your moms reminded you that they weren't punishing you for no reason. It was dangerous to go out on your own so late without telling anyone. You could have gotten hurt, or worse. As upset as you were, you understood. Mr. Holden talked to Cove about what happened too. You didn't know what was said exactly, but Mr. Holden forgave Cove immediately. He didn't do anything to punish Cove for running away. He blamed no one but himself for Cove's desire to leave home. You caught your moms discussing it once in hushed tones, frowning at each other. It was pretty serious. There was a word used that you hadn't heard before. Self-flagellation. Sombra, you're doing the mom thing right, clearly. Clearly you're doing the mom thing right. Also, self-flagellation is definitely not a word a 8-year-old's gonna understand, but we heard it. But there wasn't anything they could do to change Mr. Holden's mind. I was into Warhammer, so I was aware of the term flagellation at an early age. There you go, Canned. That'll do it. Your neighbors stopped you and Cove often for the next week or so to express their concerns and disapproval of the event. That was an awkward conversation with my dad. Oh no. Still, as they always did, days continued to pass. So did talk about Cove running away. Things eventually returned to normal, as they had to. Summer kept going, and you kept having experiences that you shared with Cove. Alright. That is the end of the first summer. Let's end it. They might understand if they're very Catholic, medieval penitents and their whole shtick. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's end the first summer. Move to the next step. Are you sure? Yes. I'll never get tired of that view. You stood beside your moms, Lizzie, and Cove as the 5 of you watched the sun dip into the ocean somewhere far, far away. You like to imagine it cooling off in the water, resting itself before getting ready to shine brightly again tomorrow. That was a fun day. I didn't know they had magicians on the shopping street now. Neither did I. Oh no, we are so dull. Let's get out more. You didn't do real magic, Mom. How'd you figure that one out?
Duh.
Because I know, that's not what real magic looks like. Oh, Lizzie dear, there's all kinds of magic in the world. Lizzie gave Mommy a suspicious look, but didn't dispute the claim. You looked over at Cove, who hadn't said a word since you started home. He didn't look upset though, just content. You're aware he still hadn't quite warmed up to your parents. Well, we can't sit out here all night. Time to hurry home and get cooking. Who's helping with dinner? Lizzie immediately let out a groan.
Ugh.
Mom, summer's almost over. The protest was obvious. You could practically see school on the horizon, and you certainly didn't want to spend your last bits of freedom cooking dinner. You could do that any other day. Can we please play a little bit longer? We have to keep playing before it's too late. Best puppy dog eyes. Lizzie may not want to, but you plan on going home. It is almost over. We're gonna... Please? Mom looked down at you with a sigh, and you clasped your hands together to give your plea some extra appeal. We'll help with dinner tomorrow. You immediately nodded in agreement with the very clever offer, shifting closer to Lizzie since your parents can't possibly resist the power of the two of you combined.
Please.
Soon we'll have homework and reading to do. We can't do work now, too. Lizzie made her case and then stomped her foot in the ground. You mimicked her, feeling that would add something to the argument. Well...
No.
Oh, come on, Pam. I can help you with dinner. Mommy leaned in for a hug, and you knew that you were very close to victory.
Okay.
All right. But as soon as dinner's ready, you lot are coming inside, understood? Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. Cove, dear, you are welcome to join us as well. You grinned at Cove and nudged his arm with your elbow. Cove gave a non-committal shrug to your mommy, which you took as an agreement. My mom and stepdad were not religious, but I was baptized as a baby. Yeah, I was not baptized. I am fully going to hell. It's great. It's gonna be a good time. I was raised kind of religious, but Reconstruction is Jew, so it's different. Yeah, I can see how that'd be a little bit different. Child learns manipulation tactics. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive, Alice. And by survive, I mean get to play on the beach for an extra 30 minutes. Also, my mom has a weird, latent distrust of Catholics, which is funny because my fiance was raised lightly Catholic. Oh boy, Canned. This is where Baby Lefteris invested his first skill point in Persuade. It's true, Mara. It's true. You don't have any religious people in your family at all. We'll rock out together. Yeah, let's go. Save you a seat on the bus. Let's go. Hey, Alexa, play AC/DC. With Reconstructionist Jew, it isn't even really a requirement to believe in God. Oh, interesting. That's super cool. My college friends always joke that we would all go to hell by jacking a bus and one of our friends would be street surfing out the back in a handbasket. Hell yeah, let's go. Hell yeah. Love it. Hell gang, hell gang, hell gang, hell gang. Alright, let's finish off this summer. Ah, so much to do, so little time. Maybe I could still get the seashell bracelet at Tines and Trinkets? Oh, or maybe the playground. Or the fireflies would be probably coming out, right? Don't I get a say in this? You silently made your own plans. I can't get too far. I'm going home. Lizzie looked over at you, narrowing her eyes like she was very seriously contemplating the answer to that question. A strong gust of wind made you shiver. Lizzie huffed as she wrapped her arms around herself.
Rude.
Doesn't the wind know that summer's not over yet? That's all Lizzie said, before abruptly turning on her heel and headed off in the direction your mothers had gone. Where are you going? I'm going to my room. I have lots to plan if I want to make the most of tomorrow. You thought this over, looking off towards the water again. Lizzie didn't wait, and before long she was disappearing off down the road. Meanwhile, Cove was going in the opposite direction, heading for the beach. We're going with Cove! Cove gave you a smile that you couldn't help but return.
Cool.
Cool. He made a little gesture that you interpreted as, follow me, and started heading to the waves. Cove knelt down, picking up something you quickly identified as a smooth rock. I know very, very little about Judaism, but I also know very, very little about most religious faiths, or... yeah, I guess for lack of a better word, monotheistic or otherwise. He reared his arm back and tossed it out into the water. You were impressed by how far he got it to go. It sailed way out into the sea. It was a good toss, that was pretty neat. Wasn't a long throw, but he didn't care to try for that. The rock sunk kind of like a rock and fell back down almost right after he tossed it. I like to think that Cove secretly can just launch rocks. I'm gonna look for my own. You decided to join Cove, searching nearby for any rocks or shells that you could throw too. In the religion I know a great deal about is paganism. Fair enough, Sombra. You found a shell that would suit your purposes, a smile growing as you tossed it as hard as you could. It landed with a wet-sounding thunk a few feet away and slipped down into the water. When you looked over at Cove, he didn't seem to notice that his throw had been more impressive. Cove was looking down at his cast, scratching idly at the pink surface even though you were pretty sure he couldn't feel it. You definitely have to find the right stones. His brows were furrowed, and there was a frown on his face.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. I've had to wear this cast for ages. I can't even swim. When do you get it off? Or how? Actually, I want to know how did you get it. I want to know how. I was jet skiing. Cove got to fucking go jet skiing? Holy shit. I want to go jet skiing with Cove. Cool. You beamed to him. You had never gone jet skiing, but you'd seen others do it all the time from the shore. It looked impressive. Cove looked a little taken aback by your outburst, but after a second, he gave a small nod. Then he continued to explain. I crashed. He gestured to his arm as if to say, and this was the result. It's hard to believe you're allowed to jet ski.
Well,
Well, I'm not. Ah, there it is. Oh. Cove let out a huff, plopping down into the sand. I can't believe summer's almost over. Cove straight up just stole a jet ski. You sat down next to him and nodded in agreement, regardless of the sudden topic change. I don't want to go to school. I mean, I would. I don't want to go to a new school. Grand Theft Jet Ski, hell yeah. New GTA looking wild. Same hat for everybody. Love it. Cove really does choose chaos. I fucking love Cove. Cove is like quiet and contemplative, but his brain is always going, no, I can do that. Don't tell me I can't do it. I think it'll be the same school as you and Lizzie. My dad said something about that. Cool, you're gonna like it. Everyone's super nice. You'd only ever been to the one school, but you were sure that his old school couldn't have been that much better. Then again, he did have to make new friends and meet new teachers. It could be kind of scary. Cove shook his head, then wrapped his good arm around his knees as he drew them to his chest. You heard a sniffing sound, and when you took a good look at his face, you realized that his eyes were wet. Cove is adorable.
I want to go home.
I want to go home. You had never had to move before, but you thought you could understand. If you had to go to a new school all of a sudden with all new people, you'd probably be dreading it too. Even though you sort of maybe understood, you still weren't sure how to help. Yeah, going to a new school sucks. Okay, I'll see you later. Cove gave his head a small shake. No, I want to go back home. Right. Cove wanted to go back to his old home. The one that sat waiting someplace far from here. The one he would bring up whenever he felt this sad. It had been a while since he'd moved in, but he didn't seem to feel any better about being here. You settled back down into the sand, trying to consider what to do. Do you hate it here? This can be your home. It'll be alright. Cove's brow furrowed even more. Then he shook his head. You felt a rush of relief fill you. You liked having Cove here. It would be sad if he had been miserable the whole time. You're not going to leave, right? You'll still be around? The question was a little surprising. Of course. I ain't going anywhere. Your parents would have mentioned to you if you were going to move or something, right? After a second, Cove gave a little nod. Once I get my cast off, we could go swimming. You were fine with him changing the subject again. Yeah, that would be fun. Cove smiled, and then looked back to the waves. My dad keeps saying I'll get used to everything eventually, that I'd feel better then. It used to make me angry. I didn't want to get used to everything. You spared a glance over at Cove and saw the anger had slipped off his face in favor of something almost puzzled. But maybe that would be okay after all, as long as I really do feel better. I can't see it. You could remember a long time ago when you first started going to school. You had absolutely not been okay with the idea of being away from your parents for most of the day, to listen to strangers tell you what to do and to sit with kids you'd never met before. Things changing is hard. I'll make sure you do. Oh, these are all so sweet. You can just comfort him. You can be like, I'll make sure you do. Cove laughed just a little, but you grinned, proud you were able to drag one out of him when he was obviously feeling down. Even still, a second later his eyes got a little misty once more. You got the feeling they were different tears than the ones from before, though. I hope next summer I'll surf and go exploring and everything will feel like it's supposed to again. You will. It will. The two of you sat quietly, just taking in the sounds of the waves. You'd hoped that Cove would be able to accept this place as his new home. You'd definitely try to help in what ways you could. There were so many wonderful things here Cove probably hadn't even seen yet. Lost in thought, you started a bit when you heard a faint, familiar sound. The sound of your mom shouting your name. You looked over your shoulder, realizing it was probably time for dinner. Time had really gone by fast. You stood and dusted the sand off yourself. My mom's calling. It's time for dinner. You should come. Cove looked up at you, expression screaming reluctance, yet ultimately, okay. When you smiled, Cove returned with one of his own.
Cygnus.
Cygnus.
Thanks.
Thanks. It was nice. Where you were right then. But the two of you couldn't stay there in your own little world any longer, and you were being called forward. The both of you ran off towards your house, leaving the waves and the summer behind. In between, oh, wow! So you can change how you look in between each age, too? And there's an extra page of options in each step. Holy shit, sweet. We're gonna have the hair get even longer. Oh my god, we can do two tones? I didn't even see the two tones before. Yeah. Hell yeah. Alright, we're gonna have even longer hair as we get older. Oh yeah, you can change hand size and everything too, isn't that right? Yeah. Yeah, you can have acne if you want. Or freckles. Or rosy cheeks. I'm gonna keep the scar. And you can still change your pronouns, because pronouns can sometimes change as you get older. And your name. You can change your name too if you want to. But I think we're going to do that. We're going to go longer. And Rebel Kid is going to start dyeing his hair. Relaxed. I'd say we've definitely moved up to Crush. I'd say the two of them are definitely, because it's 5 years, right? So I'd say 13. Yeah, we can start crushing. That's cute. But we're still going to stay relaxed. Let's go. Choose to customize Cove yourself or let his prior experiences determine it. You'll be back, but you'll be lurking. Food is here. Hell yeah, enjoy that food. Alright, let's see. So is the default the Cove that we get without any fuckery? He's fucking cutie pie. Just in case you all have a good one. Take care, Mikey. Alright, let's see what else we can get. I'm not gonna... You can scroll back if you want to go back to... Oh. What just happened? Oh, there we go. Listen, Sombra, I've met some 13-year-olds that are fucking jacked, and usually 13-year-olds that are jacked are the fucking kids of, like, surfer parents. I've seen this shit. I've seen this shit in real life. Yeah, has a scar from the arm break. Yep. Is hair one or hair 2? I like hair 1. I like hair 1. And I guess he moved to contact lenses. We got a warm, sporty... You know what? I'm happy with him exactly as he is. I'm happy exactly as he is. Yeah, hang on. I want to make sure I got that right. I'm not going to customize a damn thing. We're going right in as Cove is. I didn't get to know any surfers growing up. Yeah, that's fair. Or hockey kids, really anyone that's done intense sports for a long time. It's true. It's true. They get surprisingly shredded very quickly. August ended, September began. It was time to go back to school. Break before this bit, or good to go onwards? We're gonna go onwards. I mean, I started, like, super late, too, so I want to actually get some good... I want to get a good chunk in. But thank you for checking. I am gonna have a glass of water. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. My friendship group as a teenager were the emo kids and the skaters. Yep, same. It was the emo kids, the skaters, and the nerds. I was the third option. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids. From what you saw, anyway. My high school didn't really have those hard cliques. Huh. My high school very much did. Basically, had people who didn't really speak English and those who did. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Whenever he could, Cove stuck to you like glue. He didn't even mind that much what you did to pass the time, as long as it was together. I was the emo gamer that all the boys in the group couldn't believe a girl enjoyed games. A girl who games? Oh my god! Yeah, absolutely. Very high immigrant population. There were a lot of ESL classes, and they were also largely separate too. Oh, I see. Okay. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized. You overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. Shit, what is happening with Cove's mom? So there it is. That's the confirmation. It is a divorce. Cove's dad got full custody. At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Cove's mom is super sus as far as I'm concerned. I'm worried. I am worried about Cove's mom, and I feel like she's definitely going to be a plot point that continues to crop up. At school, though, I was just a weird misfit. All-girls grammar school. Yikes. Oh, God, Sombra, that's rough. Chekhov's gun intensifies. Yeah, Alice. I feel like gamer girls are far more common now in the 90s. I disagree. I think gamer girls always existed. It's just we have the internet now, and we actually meet people. I don't know. I knew so many gamer girls throughout all of my life. And I grew up in small towns. So, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a trope that never really actually deserved what it does and what it is. I'm not saying it didn't exist, but it is more widespread. Alright, I understand what you're saying. I just think that in the 90s and the early 2000s, people just assumed they weren't there, so people weren't looking. Like, you know, you can't really find something you're not looking for. If that makes any sense. Not a topic I really want to dig that deep into, but that's kind of my thoughts on it. Is like, if you get told something isn't there and you don't think to look for it, you won't see it. Yeah, marketing. Absolutely. Absolutely, it was a marketing thing. I can't hear the phrase gamer girl without thinking of, give me back my gamer girl, Sonic. Oh my god, Alice. Ah! Specifically Nintendo. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, for sure. For sure. Sorry, give me 2 seconds here. Do. Can I please see now? Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, exactly. And so they slapped it in the boys section. God damn it, Nintendo. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Oh god, that's hard. Cove cried too. For different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. That's probably wise, Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. He seemed very confident that it was an effective strategy. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal. Except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed, and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in your room have been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and in other athletic situations. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks. But nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. I'm curious, could that have changed if our interactions with Shiloh had been different? Would he have stayed around? Or does he always go away after the first age? I'm not going to go back and change anything, obviously it's too late, but I am curious. You learn some heartbreaking things become less sad the further away they were, even if they never had gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. I mean, try convincing his mom not to move because of work. Ah, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's all she cares about is work. Video game clothing is still very much gendered and it sucks. Yes, it does. 90s marketing sexism is a wild hole. It's also a self-fulfilling prophecy. Marketing does work. That you had a generation where it was heavily boys who did it, for sure. My daughter likes some video game related pajamas, and then she said, but mommy, I can't have that, it's for boys, and I really had to stop yourself from shouting, fuck that noise. Let's go. Yeah, you let your kids wear what they want to wear. Sombra, you fucking rock. The false Pepper King, where? I will strike him down. What's up, Coops? How you doing? Good to see ya. Or, you know, she has a job where she needs to travel a bunch, single mom raising a kid. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, single mom raising a kid's gonna have to do what she's gonna have to do. Things at home were different too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma dyed her hair purple, wanting something new, and she liked it so much she kept dyeing it. You remember calling her mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were too old for the word. Alright, so mommy is now Ma. And she dyed her hair purple? I am worried for the lesbians in chat. I am worried for the lesbians in chat. Doing alright, just tired? Hell yeah. Glad you're doing well. Sorry you're tired. Yeah, unfortunately didn't have her size in PJs, but she did come home with a Sonic dressing gown, also from the boys section. Let's go. I'm gonna fucking lose it. I believe in you, Alice. You can do it. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname too, so she insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 was greater than the difference between 8 and 10. No, it's probably because literally at every option, when I got to choose between my sister or Cove, I chose Cove every fucking time. So, definitely understand why my sister and I have grown a bit distant in this game. If I don't say anything after seeing her, just assume I've died from gay. Alright, Alice, do your best to hold it together, but I believe in you. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work, if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed, in small and in big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. Then, before you know it, school was over, and summer vacation had come again. It is a really pretty background. Hey, we got a computer now. Look at us go. Look at this room. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off by sleeping in, or wide awake, about to head out and enjoy your time off. It's the beginning of summer. I'm still on school hours. I haven't started sleeping in yet. Snuggled up in bread. Yes, that's the dream. Just bake me a giant loaf of garlic bread so I can curl up inside it and just eat my way out. You made sure to slather on a generous amount of sunscreen so you didn't get burnt. You were looking in the mirror, studying the clothes you'd thrown on, when your bedroom door opened without a warning. In the reflection, you saw Elizabeth raise an eyebrow. And that's how we get the expression, being a burrito. Hello, Elizabeth. You've definitely grown the fuck up. Imagine, garlic bread blanket. Let's go. I will accept all gifts of garlic bread blankets to my new P.O. box. No, I don't have a P.O. box. But if I ever get a P.O. box, I would really like it if somebody sent me a blanket that has pictures of garlic bread on it. That would be great. Thank you. Have you been staring at yourself this whole morning? Could you knock next time? Go away. Good morning, Elizabeth. Garlic bread is yummy, so I approve. Hell yeah, Mikey. She ignored that, crossing her arms over her chest with a disgruntled expression. Clearly, she hadn't come in just to see you. Mom told me to tell you that your friend's at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him, say thanks or whatever.
Come on.
So come down already. Alright, glad to see that our sister has just evolved from bitchy child to bitchy teenager. Let's go, Elizabeth. Get it. Keep that sass going strong. Really? That's great. I'm coming. Okay, fine. Be there. I'll be there when I'm there. Nah, it's Cove. We're excited. Character arc. We love it. We love to see character development, or not. Elizabeth said nothing else was left, having done what was instructed of her. Sheesh. 15. A character arc can be a line. Some people, you see, some people's character arcs go like this. Other people's character arcs go like this. And that's okay, I guess. Now alone, you focused on the mirror once again. Your reflection hardly even fit in the frame. You're very tall. Your reflection went over the whole length of the mirror. You're pretty tall. Your reflection fit comfortably in the frame. Your average height. There was a lot of open real estate in that frame. You're pretty short. You're very short. Hey, Salt. I thought I saw you stream Psychonauts on here a few times. What'd you think of it? Yeah, Coops. I'm still streaming it. We're taking a break on it this week because we're doing the music jam. But we'll be back to it next week. I'm enjoying it. It's weird as fuck, but and it definitely like took me a little bit to kind of get into it. When I played it the first time, I was a little taken aback by it, but as I kind of got into it and I got it a little bit more, I really started to enjoy it. And I am looking forward to finishing it off. I think next stream, I'm guessing that I will probably finish it next stream. If not, it will only be 2 streams. Like, we're getting pretty close, I think. But yeah, it's been great. I've been really enjoying it. Her arc is just y = 0, absolutely. Get those math jokes going. Marvel knows a thing or two about them status quo character arcs. Listen, Pint, when you have 70,000 characters, you can't be developing them all the time. If Cygnus is supposed to be based on Lefteris, then Lefteris is super fucking tall. Because Lefteris Gonzalez canonically is 6'6", and that was because the game wouldn't let me make him any taller. Which is wild, because that means I'm tall, but Cove is still taller, which is awesome. You could relate to Cove and how it felt being unusually big. He was one of the rare fellow 13-year-olds whose height was a match for your own. When you're done, you need to immediately get to Psychonauts 2. That game was made by the gods. I will get to it when I can get to it, because my game list is fucking 20 long now. But I definitely, like, I am really into it, so I definitely would love to play it at some point. Sure, you can't develop them all the time, but they should develop some of those characters at all. Yeah, that's fair, Pite. That's fair. Yakuza 1 is next. Make it 21 now. That takes channel points, my friend. We'll see if Yakuza 1 is next. There's a few people who disagree with that statement, Sombra, about what game is next. Yakuza 1 is next for now. There it is. There it is. Make it worth no channel points. Now I cannot do that. I'll tell you what though, like, I do have one game a week that is like my choice, and I have a couple of games that I want to get through. But once I do that, then I'm gonna probably start looking at games that I've played the first of, that I want to start getting the sequels going, especially since everybody seems to be really, really gung-ho to get me playing certain things. Coops really just said death to capitalism. Hell yeah, he did. Fight me in my channel points. Oh my god, I love y'all. I'm a challenger, though admit I'm an underdog. I mean, though, Joe, you're not alone, though. You're not the only one pushing for Outer Wilds, so, like, you know. We liked our height. But if you don't play Psychonauts 2, you'll never find the treasure. That's a very good point. Your height suited you well in your mind. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Perilous as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You had planned to go over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. I'm very happy that that I got this game to the top spot through sheer intimidation and point flexes. Fighting a bidding war would have been annoying. I mean, you have an upsetting amount of points. I feel like people's combined efforts could possibly thwart you, but it would take several people emptying their grains of salt to match yours, I think. Your reflection grinned back at you. You were looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, taking an easy time down the stairs. Step 2, second chance. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands, which she was perusing through. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Good morning, Cygnus. Thank you for coming down. Now, if that isn't the most mom look to ever mom a mom, that is the mom bun that's slightly messy. Yeah. Also, Alice is already dying. No, I'm not okay. Why do you ask? Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house. Just as she said, Ma was there, making conversation. I always thought the mom from Sword and Shield was the most mom thing ever. No, Sword and Shield mom is pretty great, too. Are we gonna have to do, like... are we gonna have to do a rank list of, like, the best moms in games? Is that a thing we're gonna have to do? See now, I have never done the bun. Ponytail that hasn't been brushed in 4 days, yes, but not the bun. That's fair. MILFs in games tier list! Well, one of the things that I want to do for the 1 year anniversary stream, one of the things I want to do for the 1 year anniversary stream, is at one point during it, I want to do what I'm calling Salt's Royal Decrees. And Salt's Royal Decrees, it's just going to be us doing, y'all are going to suggest tier lists, and I'm just going to aggressively do tier lists, and I will take no substitutions, you'll get my opinions, and that'll be fucking that. There will be, I will stand for what I believe in, and we will call it that, and that is definitely something that is going to happen when we do the 1 year anniversary, which is 1 month from today, by the way. I just realized that. In exactly 1 month, I will have been streaming for a year. Holy shit. So, I'll be doing the 1 year stream, I'll be doing the 1 year stream on the 18th instead of the 17th, because the 17th is a Friday, and I want to do like I'm going to do like an all-day stream for my 1 year anniversary, like probably at least 12 hours. So it's going to be on the 18th instead of the 17th, but the 17th was when I did my very, very first stream, which like 3 people saw, and it was a shit show because I didn't know what I was doing. But that's when it all officially started. I remember Kai's friends on a scale of whether or not I'd fight them or not stream. Hell yeah, Alice, that shit was great. That was a great stream. As you command your saltiness, Coops, you fucking rock. So yeah, that's stuff to look forward to. 1 month away, holy shit. December 17th is also when Spider-Man comes up. Oh shit, that's true. I watched your streams from before you were on Twitch. What do you mean? I'm confused as to what you mean, Mara. When did I stream not on Twitch? Oh yeah, you're fucking right. I did do like 2 or 3 Mixer streams when I was trying to see how it worked. You're fucking right. I forgot about that shit. I forgot that I tried to do a couple of Mixer streams when I had no idea what I was doing. Because I was doing, I think I did The Last of Us. When I played The Last of Us, I did it. You have a month to watch the first 2. We'll see if I manage it in time. Pint, I believe in you. They're fun. They're fun movies. You'll enjoy yourself. All right, we've waited long enough. Let's see Ma. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh?
Hi. Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. Sorry for constantly changing topic, but Bosch told me, Ma, sorry. Took me 2 hours to watch the first 15 minutes of Homecoming. Oh, God, Pint. What do I think about it being nominated for Game of the Year? I think it deserves the nomination, for sure. I don't think it will win it. I have a funny feeling something else will I don't know what the nominations for Game of the Year are, I haven't looked. But Dread definitely deserves to at least be nominated. Metroid Dread for me was the most fun gaming experience I had this year. In terms of new games. Games that came out in 2021 that I've played, Dread was the most fun I had. And that to me is the most important metric for a game. Like, there are other games that I would say I enjoyed more this year, but they didn't come out in 2021. So, I think that I am just impressed, frankly, that Metroid Dread managed to live up to 17 years of fucking hype. How do you have a game that was hyped, dead, revitalized, hyped again, and live up to that kind of pressure? Psychonauts 2 got nominated for Game of the Year, and you want that to win, but you get the feeling Deathloop or Ratchet & Clank will win. Wait, okay, what are the nominations? Psychonauts 2, Deathloop, Ratchet & Clank, Metroid Dread, and what? I'm assuming there's a fifth? Or is it just those four? Resident Evil 8. Honestly, of those games, I think Dread's the best one. It Takes Two was also on there. I still think Dread was the best one. I haven't played Psychonauts 2, though, to be fair. I haven't played Psychonauts 2, to be fair, but I frankly don't give a shit about Deathloop. And Ratchet & Clank, I mean, I'll also admit that I've never really played Ratchet & Clank, so I don't have any personal feelings attached to it. Resident Evil 8 was a fantastic game. I didn't play it. I watched other people play it, and I was really blown away by it. I was really impressed by it. Psychonauts 2, I feel like, has that cult classic, that modern cult classic vibe, which is fucking amazing. But for my money, in terms of games that to me were just fucking fun from moment one till moment zero, the end, was Dread. Joe, have a great night. You're taking tomorrow off work, so you might stream again. Yo, if you're streaming, I didn't get the notification that you went live, which is why I missed your stream. Please DM me when you're going live, because I didn't get your notification, and I'm assuming, obviously you're not Discording, because I would love to see your stream, Joe. So, like, shamelessly DM me when you're gonna go live, because if I'm at work, I'm gonna watch that shit. I'm gonna be lost on Friday to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Sombra, okay. I really want to play Diamond and Pearl, but I don't have time. I completely forgot that Diamond and Pearl were coming out this week. I tried to post in your Discord, but I don't have permission. You're right, Joe, I'll change that. I will change that. Because, like, I have it so that you have to have permission, mostly because I didn't want people hopping into the fucking thing and just, like, spamming and shit. But I'll change that, Joe, no problem. But I completely forgot that the Diamond Pearl remakes were coming out this week. As much as I'm loving Everhood, if I had known that, I wouldn't have started Everhood. I would have started Diamond instead. Oh, Mara, thank you. Perfect. Take care. But also, I'm kind of broke as fuck right now, and I didn't pre-order it. So I might just wait a bit. I appreciate you leaving on lurk, Joe. You fucking rock. So I might just wait a bit. Because it's not like it's going to go down in fucking price. It's going to be full price no matter when I get it. So depending on how December looks, I'll probably try to crack it in during September or during December. I might have some extra time off during that month too. So if I do, I'm going to be streaming more. And if I'm going to be streaming more, then I'll definitely do it. But when I play Diamond, it is going to be on stream. And when I play Diamond, it is going to be a pseudo-blind Nuzlocke. I can't call it full blind because I've played Gen 4 before and this is a remake. Obviously, there are going to be some changes. But I'm going to take the game out of the package and Nuzlocke it. And we will do that on stream. Because it's been a while since we've done a Nuzlocke, and the last Nuzlocke we tried, the randomizer, we failed twice. So I'm hungry for a Nuzlocke that actually works out. With that, we've had Ma on the screen for a while. Let's move forward. Ma reached forward, and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average for an adult woman, so you were still little in her eyes despite being big for your own age. So they just canonically confirmed that she's tall too. Good night, have a good stream. Andrew, thank you so much for lurking and hanging out. Always appreciate you. I don't know if it's the same in Canada, but at the moment there's an offer for Switch Online subs where you can select 2 games for 84. Really? I will take a look at that, Sombra. I will take a look at that. That's good to know. Yeah, so they've also just confirmed that Ma is a tall lady. So it is a good day for the gays. It is a good day for the gays. You let her do it. You happily let her do it. You tilted your body aside to dodge. You pushed her hand back and laughed. You pushed her hand back and groaned. This list as a voucher under the Nintendo Switch Online section on the eShop. I'll take a look at that. I'm gonna push her hand back because I'm a rebellious teenager, but it'll be playful. Ma could be so ridiculous, you thought, but that was okay. Ah, you're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race. Morning. I was gonna stay in longer, so you're welcome. Sorry about the wait. What'd we get? You managed to get Pokemon Diamond and Legend of Arceus with it. Hell yeah, Sombra. I will say, though, no matter where we are when Legends of Arceus comes out, I'm going to stop at least one game to start Legends of Arceus immediately. That I'm definitely doing. Oh, there's no need for that. What matters is that you're here now. Maybe. I'm about 5'9". I don't know. I know a lot of women that like see eye to eye with me. And I'm 6 foot. Depends on the spine. True. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly as you came to know him to be. There he is. Look at this fucking cutie pie. Oh my god. The most anime face. He's such a precious kid. That's adorable. He leaned uncomfortably to the side in your doorway as the longer strands of his hair idly drifted with the breeze. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much-talked-about gift. At first, you figured it must be a bouquet of flowers. Then you gave it a real look. No, instead, it was carefully cut fruit. That made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Cove smiled at the sight of you. The sting of this goofy errand he was clearly embarrassed to be on eased. Hey, Cygnus. You smiled back. It was second nature to you. Cove had always been such a close friend, ever since the two of you were kids. Hey, it's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Your grin widened even more. Every time he came, your mood was brightened. It was already shaping up to be another long summer with plenty of time for the two of you to have fun together. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. If I had a friend like Cove, I would have figured I was attracted to guys much sooner. If I had a friend like Cove, I would have figured out I was a lesbian much, much later. Oh my god, guys. Y'all. His awkward... Yeah, so he was ready to be relieved of it. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so, anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. True, though. Thank you. Thanks. You are too cute sometimes. Jesus! We can just lay it on moment one. When it says you've shifted to crush with him, they're just like, hey, do you want to flirt with your teenage crush like all the time? Like all the time. How about whenever possible? You just want to be like, hey, I think you're cute at every moment? You can do that. One of these things is not like the other. Do we do it, chat? Do we play it cool or do we just go straight for the jugular? I mean... every single time. Alright. Bet. So young Cygnus is going to be the least subtle flirt on the planet. I mean, Cygnus is probably not subtle. It's true. Lefteris certainly isn't. This is what I would do if I had a spy. What 13-year-old boy has ever had restraint? Oh, we got a ooh-ah. We got a ooh-ah, chat. Cygnus. Just thank my dad for all this, okay? Alright. Ooh, I don't have the Hua command. I don't have a Hua command. I should ask Kai if I can have the Hua command. It's okay, it's the thought that counts. Here, in honor of Kai. Hua! I'll do it. I got it covered. Maybe we can ask Kai to do the real thing when they're here in a couple weeks. That was kind of spot on, though. I'm pretty solid at imitating things if it's something I can vocally do, I'm pretty good at imitating things. Mr. Holden's behavior really was different from any neighbor you had had. Though, after 5 years, you were used to his antics. And since you made up your mind on what your opinion was. He was nice, he was sort of funny, he was pretty weird, you didn't like him, he was great. He was great and kinda handsome to boot. Okay. I, Salt, think Mr. Holden is hot. I definitely do. But I feel like it'd be a little weird for Cygnus to be keeping it in the family that intensely. He was great and kinda handsome to boot. No, I think we should keep the thirst to Cove. I think we should try and keep the thirst to Cove here. While I personally agree. I mean, it doesn't have to be more than an aesthetic appreciation. I mean, that's fair. Alright, twist my rubber arm. Though there were some things people didn't like about Mr. Holden, you didn't mind them and you liked him quite a bit. And even if he was Cove's dad, you couldn't pretend like he wasn't a nice-looking guy. That was good too, but that was something you kept to yourself. Yeah, you're damn fucking right you do. You do not say that to anybody. You take that shit to the grave. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are. I mean, he do be a nice-looking guy. I mean, he do be though. You shared a confused look with Cove. As one, both of you stepped through the open door and onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. I mean, I'm a lesbian, and he's a really nice-looking guy. Guy tested, lesbian approved. Mr. Holden. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. No refunds. You were happy at the sight of him, you were confused at the sight of him, you were displeased at the sight of him. More friends is good. Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Oh, look at this fucking dork. I like him. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin.
Hey.
Hey, my guys! I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Cygnus's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Oh shit, Cove has grown up. Yeah, Pella. Well, Cove is 13. So, Cove is 13, but he's also the tallest kid in class. Actually, Cove and Cygnus are like the two tallest kids in class. Also, Pella, since you would want to know, because I knew that you were the card-carrying member of the Shiloh fan club, through no fault of our own, Shiloh moved away at the end of the first section. Because Shiloh is raised by a single mom, and she had business to take elsewhere, Shiloh's moved away, so we're probably not going to see him much in this section. But, like, we left on good terms, I think. I hope so. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze, unsure. Then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This? It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit.
Nice.
Nice. Can I have some? It's a gift from my family. I can't give it to you. I haven't even tried any yet. Maybe we can have some later. We can share. It's a gift from my family. I am not incurring the wrath of Elizabeth for sharing this before the family could eat it. Derek pouted at your words, not hiding his disappointment. Aw, okay. Then he nodded his head as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Okay, is Derek just basically Ty from Digimon? I'm getting the vibe that Derek is just Ty from Digimon, and that's fine. But that's the vibe I'm getting here. Or Davis. Ty or Davis, take your pick. Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. New kid was here all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
Nope. Came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. What? What? You blinked. Slowly, you looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove, when you first got here anyway. It kinda does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. I never watched Digimon. I refused to because as a kid, I fully believed they were just ripping off Pokemon. Aw, that's a shame. Digimon was really fun. I will say the first 3 series of Digimon. So, like, the first group of kids, and then, like, the kind of, like, 5 years later, or whatever it was, like 10 years later that they did. Those were both great. And then the 3rd season, where it was like they were in the real world or some shit, all 3 of those seasons were really good. The 3rd season gets like fucking hella dark at the end, but it was a great show. It was an awesome time. It sucked after that though, at least in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it beyond that. Maybe I just grew up. Probably both. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well now that you say so. But what'd you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. We should all meet him.
Sure.
I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned. Then he pointed down the street the way he came. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going in this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The 3 of you were off with Derek leading the way. Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio, you made your way down to the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun.
Thank you for the subscription.
Cal! Thank you so much for the 10 months. Holy shit. Thank you. How are you doing, Cal? Pokemon is a long-term special interest of mine, so I wouldn't hear anything that I deemed to be harmful to it. Valid as fuck, Sombra. I hear you. I understand. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true. He certainly seemed upset, but you don't think he was sad like you had originally pictured. Pokemon? 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 Yeah, we've got a few people who are Pokemon special interests in here. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angry. This used to be an HD car commercial stream. People leave. Denex, what's good? Yeah, I'm sorry. The HD car commercial is gone. But it's good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good night. Doing alright, done with classes. Just have to finish my paper and do finals. Good luck, Cal. I believe in you. You got this shit. You got this shit. Come on. Hell yeah. Dinex! Let's go. You started to have doubts about this expedition. Maybe it'd be better if you left him alone and let him sort himself out. Derek didn't feel the same. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. Hey, guy! Over here! Holy Weevil from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Much. The kid whipped around, an impressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy still radiated from him. Trans shirt. Ooh, true.
What?
What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. Ralts. Oh my god, Cal! Holy shit! Yes! 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 You are not wrong. This kid is a human Ralts. What's your name? I swear to god, if the kid's name is like Ralph or anything close to Ralts, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm calling that right now. Oh, thank god it's Jeremy. Oh, thank god it's Jeremy. Okay. Jeremy, was that it?
No.
No, I'm Derek. That's Cygnus and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. Jeremy, notably Ralts. So the next Ralts I catch is going to be called Jeremy. I was literally about to say the same thing. I was literally going to say the same thing. There aren't a lot of kids in our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so you know, it's cool to see someone else here. Jeremy Ralts. What a legend. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. Raltsington, holy shit. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. What?
My parents.
My parents, they're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
Right. My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too, when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time. A chore. Cove did grow up. Yeah, it's 5 years later. We are all 13. We're all 13 now, and Cal is the tallest one in the class. We're the second tallest. What the fuck is Weedle doing here? Right, Pella? It looks like dude from Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, Cove is the tallest, not Cal. Thank you. He's gonna steal. Yeah, he's literally. Jeremy is gonna steal your Exodia cards and throw them into the ocean. Pella, we're also saying that Jeremy looks like Ralts, the Pokemon. Say goodbye to Exodia! I'm not the tallest one anywhere. Cal, you're the tallest one in my heart. Kova's looking at Rod's like, listen here, you little shit. If you are mean to Cygnus, I will break you. My stupid brother gets to be 6'4". Just steal some of that height when he's asleep. Like, when he's asleep, just, like, siphon it. I think that's how it works, right? My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come see them. Ugh. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family, too? What's that gnarly scar on his arm? Pella, that's from where he had his cast. That scar's from when he got his cast. So, we found out why he broke his arm. When he broke his arm because he was jet skiing when he shouldn't be. He tried to ride a jet ski by himself and crashed it and broke his arm. And so that scar, I think, is left from the surgery. However, he loves his scar. He loves showing it off. He thinks it looks badass. You just remembered a thing. What'd you remember? Break his legs. Oh my god.
I guess.
I love the... I kind of love how much of a pissant Jeremy is, though. He's correct. It does look badass. It's true. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No. Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much and left me... Since they care so much and left me home. But I'm not allowed to be by myself. Piff. Vivi planning the campaign. How tall do you want your character to be? Me yelling into the other room. David, how tall are you? David, 6'4". Please tell me you said 6'5". Please tell me. Yes, you did! Cal, you're the best. You're the best. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid? You kept quiet. Shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Must suck being forced to do something you don't want. We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining at us. Calm down. You don't have to yell so much. Who pissed in your cereal this morning? So, shall we try to calm this down? Or shall we be a dick to Ralts? Shall we be a dick to Weevil? Baby left terrace? Yeah. That bottom option is looking real tempting after calling him a pissant. I mean, true. See, this is the whole thing. I haven't really ever thought of what Left Terrace would have been like as a kid. I know what I'd pick straight away, but it'd be the kind thing to do to try to calm him down. Don't mean to Ralts, it might be able to summon black holes when it grows up. I mean, that's true. That's true. Wanting to be a good person versus doing it for the meme. I don't think I'd say who pissed in your cereal. I really don't. What would Left Terrace do? See, this is the thing, because, like, Left Terrace doesn't just punch. He's very good at punching, but he doesn't just punch. Like when I was playing, when Left Terrace was in the Fallout world, make a save here. I mean, I'm not gonna save scum it. I should save, but I'm not gonna save scum it. Because it's been over an hour since the last time I saved. At this point, I don't know who Left Terrace is, and I am too afraid to ask. Oh boy. How? Okay. Alright. Alright, well... Who is Lefteris? That's a very good question. Lefteris, otherwise known as Lefteris Gonzalez, otherwise known as,
Raid.
Perfect timing! Yo! Dad raid, dad raid, dad raid, dad raid, dad raid, dad raid, dad raid. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Type Orange, thank you for being in here. ATM0, how are you doing? Playing Halo Infinite. How the hell was it? Yeah, can we get some waves? Get those hellos in. Get those, please give everybody a big wave to the Raiders. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It is story time in more ways than one. We are playing a game called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. Yes, thank you for saying hello to everybody. Yes, hello. How was...
You fall.
Thank you for the follow, not Kyle Kidwell at all. Not Kyle Kidwell at all. That is a name. I like that. I like that a lot. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Sodium Court. Oh god, Halo was something. It's your first one ever, technically? Holy shit, ATM. That's wild. That's fucking wild. Howdy. Thank you. We're playing a visual novel right now. It's called Our Life, Beginnings and Always. It's a bit of a different vibe, I think, than Halo. But it's been really chill and good times. But just before you raided in, I got asked a very, very, very important question. So everybody was asking me, who is Lefteris Gonzalez? And you're probably going to go, yeah, who the fuck is Lefteris Gonzalez? I've never heard that name before. You haven't heard that name before because it is a name I made up, because it's a character that I made up. Years ago, I decided that I was going to, anytime a video game had a create a character option in a video game, I would make the same character for every create a character, no matter what the game was. And to make it more fun, in my head, I argued that it was the same person in every game. Whether I was playing UFC fighting, which is where this actually all started, or Fallout 4, or Rock Band, or any other game that had a creative character that I can completely customize, I always made the same character, and his name was Lefteris Gonzalez. He was named Lefteris Gonzalez because those were two names that the announcers could say in the sports game that I was playing at the time when I first created the character. And I wanted to pick the lengthiest names I could find that the announcers would always say when he picked him, so he got the name Lefteris Gonzalez. The short and long of it is, he's a badass he likes to do everything through punches rather than guns. So when I played Fallout 4 as Lefteris, I didn't use a gun the entire game. I used an axe and a sword, and that's it. And he just kind of has this through line across, like, I think at this point, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. He does have a mean right hook, it's true. Even though his name is Lefteris, he's right-handed, he has a really strong right arm punch. So in this game, we are playing, we named our character Cygnus, mostly because we wanted to have a speakable name. But Cygnus is essentially just Lefteris Gonzalez all over again. So the reason why people in chat, specifically Mara, keep asking what would Lefteris do is because we're technically playing the childhood origin story of the character that I've used in about 8 million other games. So that's why people keep asking the question, what would Lefteris do? Because for me, in any game where there's a creative character, there is always going to be Lefteris. And if it's not Lefteris, it has to be one of Lefteris' kids or progeny somehow. So my character in Mass Effect, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah! So my character in Mass Effect, Sinistra also means left, and she is the granddaughter of Lefteris Gonzalez. Because if you follow the timeline with how much time has passed, she would be Lefteris's granddaughter. Cygnus is short for Lefteris, didn't you know? He changes his name later on. That's the excuse. So that's also why Sinestra is all shotguns in close range, because just like her granddad, she gets up close and personal in combat. So that's the whole thing. Anyway, hello everybody, welcome Raiders in. Thank you for joining in for Storytime. We are now going to return to Storytime Part 2. This game is called Our Life Beginnings and Always. It's a visual novel. It is wholesome as fuck. You start off at the age of 8, and the game takes place over 4 sections, 5 years apart. So you start off at 8, then 13, then 18, then I guess 23. We just got to the second part, so we're now 13 years old, and we've met our new best friend, Cove, from when we met him when we were 8. He just moved to the area. We become besties. It's very clear there's kind of some romance going on. This game is super queer positive, which is amazing. So Cove and I are probably going to romance each other at some point. It seems to be heading down that cute way, and it's super adorable. And summer has just started, and we're 13 years old, and what a life it is. And we just met the most angry kid ever that looks like a combination of Weevil from fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! And Ralts from Pokemon, and he's really angry because he doesn't want to be here. Lefteris Gonzalez sounds like a wrestling pseudonym. I mean, he did start off as a UFC character, so absolutely it's a wrestling pseudonym. Let's try being nice. We're gonna try once being nice, and if he continues to be shitty, then I won't be nice to him anymore. Sorry, it must suck to be forced to do something you don't want. As if that does anything. Alright, kid, fuck off. You turn to Cove, lowering your voice. The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed.
Stupid.
Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Alright, bitch, now you're done. BRB gotta commit burglary in my own home? Alright. You do that, Alice. I believe in you. Steal the things. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Come on. Jeremy is a little bitch. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Don't listen to him. They're really unique and special. Apologize to Cove right now. You can't treat people like that. Alright. You went from me being nice to me being medium. You're going to apologize, and after that, if you don't apologize, then I don't give a fuck about you. Cove smiled weakly.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, your eyebrows are so terrible. What a fuckhead. Wavy eyebrows are cool! Vagabond, what's up? Let's hear it for Vagabond. You rolled your eyes, you crossed your arms over your chest, you shook your head, you patted Cove on the shoulder, you lunged towards Jeremy, you grinned at all this. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. We tried to be nice twice. Now we punch Jeremy in his stupid face. With your fist balled, you made a quick step forward. But you only wanted to spook him. He was the one who started things. You were ready to end them. Kill him! You made it clear that your words wouldn't work, leaving you to resort to action. You weren't sure what would happen, but you couldn't let this stand. Kill him. End his life. End him. Do it. Derek and Cove jumped in to stop you before you reached him. They each grabbed you by the arm. Still, Jeremy instinctively stumbled backwards. He practically fell over. If that's all you can do about what I'm saying, it's just proving I'm right. You're brainless. You were annoyed the other two were against you on this and got in the way, though the reaction you'd been able to get was still worth it. He was mean to your special boy. That will not do. Welcome to the consequences of your own actions. Child, pull out your knife! What have you got? A knife! No! Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
Hang on, he's resistant to fighting. Oh, you're right. It's true, he is resistant to fighting. This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere he went. You watched him go, hunched over, until it became a speck in your vision. Use his height to pick up child and throw him into the ocean. If he's resistant to fighting, that'll make him easier to beat down. Yeah, chapter 2 of this game goes into a full beat 'em up. Gotta use bite, oh my god. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process just what happened. I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding. And by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. Favorite type of person to fight is pacifists. See, I like to think that Lefteris is a pacifist. Because he will start off trying to solve problems without violence. And if that doesn't work, he will gladly pacifist to anybody who gets in his way. I don't know who these two are, but I want to see them die also. Hashtag video games. Vagabond, you are very, very good at this video game thing. Have you ever considered making video games? I think you'd be really good at it. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed, and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
This sucks.
This sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun. Hang out, maybe? He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But, you know what would really improve the day? What? He didn't respond. Instead, he used a hand to point, right at the fruit arrangement you were still holding. Seriously, kid complains about his parents taking him here, and then when he gets an opportunity to make his stay less awful, he just throws it in your faces. Yeah, exactly. Like, fucking get over it, kid. Wait, Jeremy, not Derek. Fail. 2 gins in, and 4 a.m. You got this, Umbra. You're good. You Gucci. You'd completely forgot about it during the mini-drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the wait. I was gonna punch him with the... fruit flowers. Just like, gah! Get vitamin C, motherfucker. I need to save it. Yeah, Sombra's in the UK.
Okay.
I got used to just calling him Ralts. Well, we'll just continue calling him Ralts, it's fine. He sagged, still staring at the glistening fruits, but he didn't insist further. Yeah, it's a gift for the Downey family after all. They should be the ones to get to have it. Sorry for asking. It's fine. Quiet once more descended upon your group. Cove turned towards the ocean, a peaceful expression on his face. Hey, you two remember The Land Before Time? The fruit thing makes me think of it. The dinosaurs liked all the leaves that were shaped like stars. Don't make me think about Land Before Time. One of the saddest fucking movies of all time. Tree stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, chopping leaves looked so delicious when they did it. I love that movie. Never seen it, didn't like that one. That movie's for kids. Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? Do you think things taste better when they're shaped like stars? I love that movie. Chomper! Hell yeah! The only good Poochie tier character in history. Yeah. Absolutely. Me too. Derek didn't say anything further about dinosaurs or otherwise. For the next few minutes, the three of you watched the waves crash onto the shore. Hey, Cygnus. Yeah? The two of you met eyes casually. Were you seriously gonna hit that guy? Well, he had it coming. Cygnus, that's so bad.
I mean...
I thought it was cool. Ah, Cove's into it. Let's go. That's the important part. That's the important part. As long as Cove thought it was hot. I mean cool, but hot. Lovely, never made up on there on that side of the country. Oh, fucking... That's a shame. I mean, I guess you can't fucking go everywhere, right?
Ugh.
What? You're both crazy people. Orange battered chips. Yo, what? Like orange battered fries? Yo, you've got my attention, Sombra. Holy fuck, I want those. That sounds amazing. You knew when Derek said things like that, it wasn't serious. He liked you and Cove. Yeah. Then, Derek then leaned back on his arms. He contemplated the sky with a content sigh. So, you both ready for summer break? How's someone supposed to be ready for a break? Are you not sure? Yeah. Cool on you. Wish I could say the same. Feels like there's a lot to plan for. What about you, Cove? Are you ready? I think that depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered.
Hey!
Hey, Cygnus! Uh-oh. Did I get told on? You glanced over your shoulder to see your sister. She strode closer and closer, appearing none too pleased. Been looking all over for you. Ma said you and Cove ran off with the thing Mr. Holden bought for us. She leered over you with arms folded. So, where is it? It's fine, and right here. You turned your body to face her and held up the bouquet, proving that it was in one piece. She inspected the fruit arrangement with a small frown.
Okay.
Alright, looks good. But if all you're doing is sitting around, you better take it back to the house now. It's not just for you. She grinned, glancing at Cove who sat beside you. Even if you do have an in with the delivery boy, this was up to Mr. Holden. Yeah, she's 15, so she's Elizabeth now, not Lizzie. And she will not take anything else otherwise. Orange battered chips. That sounds fucking awesome, though. Fish and chips is always best in a seaside town where the fish is super fresh. Sombra, you are correct. Yes, absolutely correct. Cove stifled a chuckle and gave you a conspiratorial look. Get going. This wasn't okay just because you hadn't done anything yet. Oh no, I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here. Elizabeth blinked, confused, and looked around.
What?
What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched to his feet and ran off. Cove hopped up too, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. He followed after Derek, but he sent a look to you from over his shoulder. You turned to watch Elizabeth. She stared back, brow raised. You ran! Peace. Without a word, you two got to your feet and bolted down the beach. Unimpressed, Elizabeth rolled her eyes.
So immature.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, Elizabeth. When are we all making the field trip over to Sombra's? I want these fucking orange chips. This sounds amazing. I recently visited Nova Scotia in Canada, which is on the east coast, and the seafood there was great. Oysters, clams, and fish. Oh my. Fuck. East Coast seafood. I miss it. I have not been out to the East Coast in a year. Actually, hasn't been that long. I was out in Newfoundland 3 years ago, and that was fucking amazing. It just feels like it's been forever because it was on the other side of the panini. She shook her head and walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. Meanwhile, the three of you made it back to the shoreline. Derek pumping his fist, grinning in triumph. We escaped and shall live to see another day. It was 3 years ago from Newfoundland. Yeah, okay. Exactly, but we should keep moving. For now, at least. Victory! My moms are going to be so mad when Elizabeth tells this story. You live on the East Coast and can't stand seafood of any form. Worst combo. Alice, I will eat all the seafood for you. I will eat all the seafood. Please give me your share of the world's seafood. Thank you. There's a historical museum near my hometown, and on site they have a chip shop where they prepare fish and chips in batter made with beef dipping. Yo, that sounds fucking amazing. Cruise will be 2 years this March. Holy shit. That's wild. That's wild. Can I have some seafood? Don't eat all of it? Yes, you can have some. Your city's kind of known for seafood? Let's go. I will fucking, I haven't found a single thing seafood-wise that I don't like. Also, Sombra, that sounds amazing. We have a chip shop here in Toronto's Kensington Market. Don't get it confused with the UK Kensington Market. Called Freshco's, and they do an extra crispy fish and chips batter that uses they crunch up an entire bag. They crunch up an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips, or I guess crisps for the UK people. Yes, I did pronounce the second T in Toronto right now because right now I'm talking about touristy shit. Don't shame me. I'm trying to explain shit to people who don't live here. But basically, especially because like chips and crisps get mixed up too, right? But basically they use a bag of salt and vinegar like kettle chips, and they crunch that up and put that into the beer batter that they make. And you get like these super crispy, already salt and vinegary fish and chips that you then obviously do your fucking regular shit with. And it's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I don't know anyone who does pronounce the second T. There are a lot of people who pronounce the second T in Toronto. I've been adopted as an honorary Canadian. I know about Toronto. Yes. Yes. Hang on. I'm gonna see if I can find a thing real quick. Yeah, I found it. Let me just... Cool. Boom. Toronto pronunciation scale. Toronto. You're an American sportscaster. Toronto. You're from Mississauga at best. Toronto. You're a Torontonian. And Trana. Your pulse sounds like the TTC, and you piss steam whistle beer. Trana. Welcome to Trana, everybody. Trana. See, Vagabond knows. Vagabond knows. Okay, true though. It's fucking true. It's fucking true. Toronto. Toronto. Perfect. We love it. In case Elizabeth decides to come back after all, or that mean kid really is still around. I kind of pronounce it like piranha with a T. I love that. Welcome to Toronto. That's correct. You're saying it correct. That works perfectly, Alice. Tarantula. Tarantula's a different town. You chuckled together, walking further down the beach side by side. You definitely wanted to stay outside a little while longer. Tarantula is, scary. Tarantula would be like evil Toronto. The city of Tarantula would be Toronto in like a dark world. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. You had gotten a bit of talking to for running off with the gift twice, even though you hadn't eaten any of it. But Elizabeth was also asked to be a bit more patient in the future. The only tarantula is Harry T's. Vagabond, you know. Vagabond, you know. That's right. I get the same... oh, now I'm not sure if I know how to pronounce that right. There's a city with a tarantula breeding festival? Oh my god. Tarantula's friend, you met one once, his name was Charlie. Ooh, that's fun. He glowed under IV. That's really fucking cool. Yeah, you're not allowed to keep a tarantula as a pet in Toronto. That is true. Sombra, I'm officially going to butcher it because now I'm going to overthink it. Is it Birmingham? It is Birmingham! Okay. Sweet. I'm not from there, but nearby, and everybody here literally just says Brum. Love it. But that's where the Brummy accent is from. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm from Brum? Perfect. In the end, the four of you had split the bouquet after dinner, and the event was fully resolved. I have arachnophobia, sadly, so I will stay far away from any spiders. No, that's super valid. Pella also has severe arachnophobia. It's also why I have Hype Creep banned in this chat. Just because I do know that there's a few people who have pretty severe arachnophobia, so I just banned Hype Creep in this chat just so that it doesn't show up. That was a while ago now. What's Hype Creep? Hype Creep, so you know how you have all the different Hype Train emotes? One of the Hype Train emotes is called Hype Creep, and it's literally just a photorealistic big spider. And, it's an emote on Twitch. So, like, just be aware of it. It is, yeah, it's a very, very realistic picture of a spider. Unlike a lot of the other Hype emotes, which, you know, are really cutesy. Just why? It was something it was a decision they did. They did a whole bunch of realistic, Hype Train emotes. And yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, I have it and it's not nice. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. So, a bunch of people I know who have arachnophobia have banned it on their Twitch channels. And I also did just because I have enough people who are not fans of it. So, just nipped that problem in the bud. I honestly don't have a problem with them at a distance, but when they are out in the wild, they can unsettle me a little bit. The only acceptable spider image is that one close-up of a jumping spider. There are some close-ups that look really cute, but I can also understand why they upset people. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited, your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin Leandra. You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your aunt, uncle, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. Okay, me bedtime. Bye-bye. Vagabond, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you being here. Have yourself a great night. Sleep well. A while back, though, they moved and were closer to you than ever before. You now hung out regularly. With school being out, you're positive she's going to want to come over a lot. The two of you were the same age and got along well. She used to be really fond of Elizabeth too, but now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it just tended to be you and Lee who spent time together. She was your only friend who was a girl. Being family helped make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. Left Terrace is friends with everybody. You left the stuff you burglarized downstairs. Oh shit, double burglary. Double burglary. Even though you weren't a girl, you befriended them pretty well. Okay, 13-year-old boy logic, I'll let it pass. You also had a lot of non-girlfriends. Left Terrace is a chatterbox. What kind of gender someone was didn't seem to make any difference in who you got along with. Nope. Then the shrill ringtone announced an incoming call. You jumped before grabbing the receiver and pressing it to your ear. Who is it? Your worst nightmare. Oh my god. Okay, Lee is also adorable. Left Terrace with the 20 charisma. The Gonzalez line is like strength. The entire Left Terrace Gonzalez line is like strength 20, charisma 20, and then like intelligence 12, wisdom 11, constitution 16, dexterity like 14. Like, charisma, strength are the top two stats. Actually, that's not true. Left Terrace's son is dex and strength reversed. Left Terrace's son is a complete dex build, but they're all charisma 20 for sure. Immediately giving me Ivy from Amphibia vibes. Ooh. Your worst nightmare. Of course, you knew right away who it was. You laughed. Hi, Lee. Dropping the joke, she laughed too.
Hi.
Oh my god, she has an adorable voice. Hi! All these kids are fucking cute. This is hilarious. There was static on the end, as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. So can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Now we don't have to do any of that boring stuff and we get to hang out whenever we want. Speaking of hanging out... Lee, can you wait a second? Let me just head to my room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Your mom's had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which is why you'd been sat by its cradle, waiting for Lee to call. Your mom's really unfair, you thought that made sense. You didn't like it, but it had to be that way. You weren't the only person here. If anyone could take the phone anywhere at any time, it'd be an even bigger hassle. You could easily imagine the receiver having a new forever home in Elizabeth's locked room. True. But now that Lee had called, it was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. You made your way up the stairs, smiling. After you had arrived, you shut the bedroom door firmly behind you. You took a seat on your bed. Alright, I'm here.
Cool.
Cool. Hey, did you know a girl down the street from me has her own phone now? A cell phone. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. Wow, really? The thought of someone having a phone that was all their own seemed unbelievable to you. Right? I wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up. Wish they'd changed their mind. We could call each other every single day and no one would be able to stop us. How great would that be? It'll never happen. Everybody having their own cell phone, it'll never happen. The next thing you know, they're going to tell us we're going to carry a calculator in our pockets every day. When was this game made again? I think the whole point of this is when you're a kid, that I feel like the kid ones are set in the past, so it's not set in modern day. The days of having to rely on landline phones. Yeah, that's a fucking mood. Oh, good point. I forgot that time is in fact linear. I mean, it's not. We're just experiencing it linearly. There we go. Justin, you had dial-up internet too? Oh, God. I used to, when we had dial-up, I used to, like, download a song overnight. Like, that would be the thing. I was like, okay, what song do I want to download overnight? And I'd go to bed and it'd start downloading, and then the next morning, I'd have one more song. And then we all decided phone calls were awkward and uncomfortable, and instead did instant small letters instead. Exactly, Cal. Let me sing the song of my people. Thank you. Thank you. Remember, I'm always looking for voice acting work. No, thank you! My brain went ma. Dial-up noises. Perfect, Alice. I'll search up dial-up tones because they make my brain go brr. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I really want to, like, sample dial-up noises in some songs. I never experienced dial-up. I may have missed out. Honestly, Cal, you didn't miss a damn thing. You just missed... You missed the joy of wanting to look at a meme and needing to wait 5 minutes. That's what you missed out on. We can even stay up late talking about whatever we want. We joke about it because we want to commiserate. Yeah, these are jokes of misery. Lee sighed thoughtfully into the receiver. At least I said I could have it someday. I can't wait. She sighed dramatically. I bet I'm not going to get one until I'm all the way in college. Squeezing the phone between your shoulder and ear, you puffed up your shoulders and made yourself more comfy. Is that me making the noises? Is that what this clip is? Perfect. Great. Welcome to Salt Online. You've got mail. I remember going to a friend's house and they were super rich and had fancy 2 megabyte per second internet. I visited my older sister. When she was at University of Toronto. And she had high-speed internet. And I just remember while I was there using her high-speed internet to download like 30 songs, and I put them all on my fucking little like jump drive MP3 player. It was the fucking greatest day, because normally it like put me like 3 weeks ahead of schedule, because I had a plan of what songs I wanted to download every night so I could slowly build up the collection of music that I wanted to listen to, and it put me like 3 weeks ahead of schedule, and I was like, ugh, let's go! It was the best. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over and you'd have to choose whether or not to go to a college. School was such a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easily to you, though. You tried hard. You worked about as hard as most people and got pretty average results as well. You never tried much, but you still didn't do that bad. You didn't bother at all in school, and your grades reflected that. Everything in your classes came easily to you. You worked hard for your excellent grades. Now, if this was me, I know what answer I would pick. But this is not me, this is Lefteris. Oh, did you also get the Hua? Okay, great. Thank you. You never tried much, but you still didn't do that bad. That is what Lefteris would do. Ghosting by had become routine for you. Teachers had warned you that you wouldn't be able to do that forever, but you figured it was enough for now. You felt a lot of pressure to get higher grades than you did last year. You hoped you would do just as well this year, but it wouldn't be a big deal if they dropped some. You're confident your grades would remain great. You had no plans on getting excellent scores this time around. You could definitely turn things around from here on. I remember downloading the Age of Empires demo on dial-up. Yeah, holy shit. I can't believe that Age of Empires worked on dial-up. I couldn't believe you could actually battle people in Age of Empires on fucking dial-up. Grade stock. Aw, Cal, I'm sorry. Yeah, you tried to sound engaged, but your mind had decided to go back to school despite the season. Lee knew you too well to be fooled.
What's up?
You sound so spacey. What's up? Just thinking about school. Lee groaned. Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. Let's make a petition for more vacation time.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in class would sign it. Maybe some of the teachers too. Though I guess school isn't all the way bad. You can do some good things there. I can just do more when school's out. Gym is pretty great. Learning things would be cool. Easiest way to hang out with people not in the neighborhood. If I didn't go to school, I'd never meet anybody new. No one really comes here. Uh-huh. Cafeteria lunches at my school could be better than they had any right to be. Lucky. Mine's boring. Learning new things can be cool. I just wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some people.
Me too.
Me too. That was all. Army Men Air Attack. Let's go. And here I am, upset that I'm only getting 200 megabytes when we pay for 500. Yo, that is good internet, Alice. Okay, point taken.
All right.
I now decree the topic of school is officially closed. We have to talk about this summer first before we start plotting the rest of our lives. I've got some plans already. Ooh, tell me. I'm gonna visit my cousins. You chuckled, of course. What's something you want to do? First thing that comes to your head. You're tired, you're gonna head to bed? Cal, thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate you being here. Get some good sleep, and don't stress. You're gonna fucking nail those finals. You're gonna nail those final assignments, too. You got this. I believe in you. Want to spend time with people? New art supplies. People, I hope that means me too. Used to be able to do it, but now asleep before 11. Good night, Cal. You lean back in your bed, settling in as you continue chatting with your friend. Even though it hadn't been that long since you saw her and you'd be seeing her soon, you found plenty to talk about. For one, the events of the day. You sat up straighter. I was with Cove and Derek today, and we met a new kid. Like, at your neighborhood? His parents are visiting family, so it sounds like he'll be around for a while. I don't know how long. What was he like? Creepy, mean, weird, kind of interesting. Mean. He kept snapping when all we were trying to do was talk to him. He just kept being rude to everyone. But especially Cove. It was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Your cousin was pretty popular with the boys who knew her. She seemed happy enough to have them around until they started to annoy her. That's exactly right, Lee. Who are you to talk? Cove and Derek are always around. They're both boys, you know. Lee just straight up called us out on being gay as fuck. Lee just went for the fucking jugular. Lee has made the correct decision. They're not always around. That's not the same. That's true. I'm not the one who invites him. You weren't able to say anything to that. Stream had to buffer then. Basically, all I said, all that I did, so we made a joke at Lee because Lee always has lots of boys around her, and she's just like, she's good for the attention, but then she's like, okay, y'all can go away now, which, like, awesome, good for you, girl, keep that shit up. But then she spins it back around, and she's like, so, you have Derek and Cove around, they're boys, and I'm like, did she just dunk on us and just made it very clear? She's like, you get surrounded by boys too, and I was like, we just got owned by Lee. Lee laughed at her affirmation, deeply amused. Even though she couldn't see, you shook your head at her, grinning to yourself. There was a stomping noise approaching your room, heralding the arrival of your irritated older sister. She flung the door open, a frown etched on her face.
Come on.
How long are you gonna hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. Elizabeth held out her hand, the other one lodged on her hip. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up! With a sigh, you said your goodbyes to Lee. Lee, I have to go now.
Bye.
Okay, see you soon. Tell Elizabeth and your moms I say hi too. You had barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the handset from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Your ma's voice called from downstairs. Hey, has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. And with that, she shut your door behind you. Silence was left in the wake. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it had gotten dark outside, and you laid in bed wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched, staring over at it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you only saw the moon and an open sky. You were scared, confused, annoyed, curious. These backgrounds are so good. I know, the lighting that they do on these backgrounds is gorgeous. What had caused that noise? Ma, you will no longer have a phone from now on. You have two teenage kids. The phone is gone. It's gone. Gone forever. The colors sell them so well. They do such a good job. It's so good. If there was any doubt that Alice was the quintessential art lesbian, right? Cocking your head, You sat up and moved closer to the window. You wanted to get to the bottom of this. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. Cove? You squinted. Yup, Cove was right outside your window. It begins. Your house was very angular, and some parts stuck out further than others, so it theoretically wouldn't be hard to climb around on. Still, just because somebody could, didn't mean you expected it to ever happen. Pay your artists, support queer creators? That's me. Shower me in money? Hell yeah, Alice. Wait, did Cove literally, like, climb up to our window? Wow! To his credit, Cove was doing just fine. His feet were braced against a section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with the effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. You hurriedly open the window. That's gay, Cove. Yup. Cove literally scaled a fucking building to come into my room at night. I'm just saying. Cove climbed over the edge, releasing a breath once he was safely inside. Wait, if you were talking to me, I wasn't calling you a gay ass, I promise.
Hey.
Hi, Cygnus. What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? This sure is a surprise, but you're always welcome here. Is everything okay? What happened? You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Amazing. My dreams have come true. What's up, Romeo? I mean... See, if this was still, like, 8-year-old Cove, I'd be like, what's wrong? But he's chilled out, right? Let's do it. What's up, Romeo? We're flirting with him. Let's go. I know that it's late, but I didn't know what else to do. I rang the doorbell. I know your moms would have answered, and they just make me go home. And I didn't really want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Besides, with you, but that's why I did that. As unexpected as this was, you were touched. Cove felt like he could tell you what was wrong. I might have tried calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. Cove suddenly looked very cross. Dad, he was talking to my mom. Still is, probably. You raised your eyebrows. Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation? Headed out. Hope you all have a lovely night. Mikey, thank you for hanging out. All the love to you. Hope you have a wonderful night. Take care. Who am I kidding? I would have done it too. Cove smirked at the agreement. Yeah, I don't do it a lot, but I heard them talking about me. Are you gonna stay with your mom for a while again? Every year, Cove was sent off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened varied. Sometimes he would go during winter break, but usually he went during summer. Even though it was hard news when you found out he was leaving and you missed seeing him those weeks, you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. Wait, what? He's inviting her here? That seems weird. You waited for him to continue. He didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but stare at Cove. There was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. What did your mom say? She told him she'd come. I know she's coming soon, before school starts. Oh. You had heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories, or what happened while he visited her. Still, it was one thing to hear about someone and another to actually meet them. very soon, you were going to see Cove's mom in person. You were taken aback by the news, so you could only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him. He was pacing across your room, his features pained with dread. Chekhov's mom indeed. Before, they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch. Now we're gonna all be together again. The three of us, after all this time? Just for a few weeks? I went to the bathroom. Cove is in our bedroom? Yes, Sombra. He literally climbed the window. Climbed the wall to get into the window. Because he's stressed out because apparently it was very, very gay. But apparently as well, the reason why he did it is because he wanted to talk to me because his mom is coming to stay for a few weeks. And that seems weird considering his parents could barely talk to each other. And now they're like, gonna spend a few weeks together? It feels really sus. He was flexing to brace himself up at the window if it helps the visual. Yeah, right? I know I should probably be happy they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out. And now I feel really bad for feeling this way.
Cygnus.
Cygnus, it's so... His fist tightened, and his eyes became misty. Cove is sporty and strong, but also is not afraid to cry. We stan a man who can cry. Even if you're just a young man so far. I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already, and I'm not a little kid. Though he wouldn't meet your eyes, you knew he was waiting for you to say something. Yeah, it's a bit sus, but he really wanted to get into the room. It's true. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad. That is hard to deal with. We can deal with this. I'm sorry, Cove. You know I'm here for you. Yeah, that's a lot. He didn't know what to say. He didn't want to have to go through the moms to get here. That is hard to deal with. So, like, okay. I'm gonna have a quick chat. So, my parents are split. My parents have been divorced since I was 5 years old. And I've said time and time again throughout my entire life that if my parents had ever gotten back together after all the hell, because they did not get along for years. They still don't, really. But if they, like, got back together suddenly, like, 5, 10, 15 years later, honestly, if I can be completely honest, I would have been pissed. I would have been upset. Like, for all the shit, all the stress that I went through with my parents being split, and now all of that just magically goes away, as if that never happened, like, I would have been really hurt by that. Though I 1000% get where Cove is coming from here, just being like, wait, you told me this was never going to happen again, and to get used to change, and just as I start getting used to it, 5 years of this and being used to it, now all of a sudden, whoopsie doodle, we're going to be together for weeks now, isn't that great? I definitely get where Cove is coming from here. Like, holy shit, that's not easy. That shit's not easy. The tense line of Cove's shoulders eased. Thanks. That makes me feel a little better, like I'm not freaking out for no reason. Yeah, it was a relief when my parents separated. Divorce, not a bad thing. All depends on the circumstances. Exactly. Like, and like, the whole stay together for the kids thing sucks. Like, don't stay together for the kids if you and the other person really can't stand each other. Is it going to be easy to split up? Of course fucking not. Divorces aren't easy. Breaking up with somebody even isn't easy. Having kids makes it that much tougher. But, like, if you're both going to just be miserable, that misery is going to imprint onto your kids, right? So, like, split up. Split up. I might not be a parent, but if there's one thing I could say as a kid, just split up. I'm way happier that my parents did, honestly. I'm hoping this ends up more to spare him having to leave his friends just to see his mom, and they just learn to co-parent like adults. That would be really, really nice. That is like the perfect situation where the two of them can just suck it the fuck up for a couple of weeks for the sake of Cove, but I don't have faith that that's where this is going. A momentary silence fell over the two of you. You marveled at how the day started. You had woken up eager for summer vacation, but now things seem so crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude, and if that wasn't enough, now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better with time? Cygnus? The sound of your name, said quietly, pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you, concerned.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? My parents split up when I was a baby, but proceeded to use me as ammunition against each other as I grew up. My parents did the exact same thing, Sombra. My parents did the exact same thing. And it sucked. And like, my mom and I have an amazing relationship. Things got rough at one point, with both my parents and I. Around 16, I actually kind of snapped on both of them. I was living with my mom, and I threatened my mom that if she didn't stop, like, saying shit about dad, that I would leave and go live with dad instead, because I was old enough to make that decision. But the same day, I also said to dad that if he didn't stop talking shit about my mom, I'd stop visiting. So I kind of threw them both a really aggressive ultimatum, because I was that kind of fucking kid. And I had just gotten so fed up with it, and I was so tired of it. And they both stopped. And since then, like, my mom and I have an amazing relationship. We always have. Like, my mom and I have always had an amazing relationship. My dad and I had some good years and some bad years. At this point, I haven't spoken to my dad in 4, possibly 5 years. Which sucks, but it is what it is. I'm a grown-ass adult, and these things happen. Not to get too heavy on stream, but, like, this whole situation with Cove, to me, like, really, really hits in a very personal spot, because I definitely have experienced what Cove is experiencing here, and it's not easy. Slamma with the dang. Yeah, sorry you walk into a fucking brick, Slamma. We're gonna pop off this. I mean, the topic in the game is still heavy. We'll pop off this. Slamma, you fucking gamer god. Fucking, what, 16 hours of Shin Megami Tensei 5 in 2 days? How long were you streaming today? Because I know you did like 8 or 9 hours yesterday, and like 6 or 7 today. If you're not following Slammakowser, you absolutely need to. If you want good vibes, good energy, and like somebody who's just gonna fill you up and make you feel good, Slamma's your guy. Always a fucking great time in his streams. I always have an absolute blast. Probably closer with the dad than I've ever been, but it's been a rough ride to get here. Absolutely. And that shit, you know, it's not always easy, right? Sometimes it's a rough ride, but if you can get there and you can get to a good place, that's fucking amazing. Alright. Yeah, I'm okay, and you meant it. I'm okay, you didn't mean it. No, I'm not. I don't know. Who, me? I'm more worried about you. Yeah, honestly, I'm worried about you. My fucking shit is pebbles compared to what you're going through. You don't have to forget about yourself for me. I want to listen to you too. Cove, you fucking gentle man. You gentle kid. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small and delicate, but you knew it was genuine. He had come here, conflicted and upset, only to end up worrying about you. He really was a great friend. You know, I don't think I want to talk anymore about this. That is valid as fuck. He looked away, his lips thinning to a line, and rubbed at his arms. But I kinda don't want to go back home either. Could I stay a little longer, just doing something else? Yeah, you can, Cove! He appeared equal parts hopeful and vulnerable. How could you possibly turn him away? Got a flashlight and some cards. Are you in? You can stay tonight, but we shouldn't make a habit of this. Of course, you can always stay here, Cove. I will let you sneak into my room any fucking day. You held his gaze confidently, hoping your words got across to him. Thank you for sharing. Slamma, you're the best. I appreciate you being in here. I appreciate you a lot. You're a rad fucking dude. But yeah, SMT is dope as heck. Fuck yes, that's what we love to hear. I'm glad you're fucking enjoying it, dude. Cove perked up at your response, a smile appearing on his face. He immediately took a seat on your bed, not afraid to get comfortable in your room. Bed or not, you can always be comfy in this room. You felt a little better at the sight somehow. You still had a lot of worries, but you were glad he was here. And not just tonight. You were glad he came into your life in the first place. That was a change you never wanted to undo. It felt totally natural to let him into your little world. They are still kids, Canned. At most, we're going for a chaste kiss. At most, we're going for a chaste kiss. They are 13! We save that shit for when they're 18. Wait, 13? They don't look 13. I know. But like they didn't look 8 when they were 8. Like all of the art makes them look about 2 to 3 years older. So in chapter 1 they're 8, in chapter 2 they're 13, in chapter 3 they're 18, and then in chapter 4 I guess they're 23. It's 5-year increments with each one. Our older sister is 15. That initial friendship had deepened so much over the past years, and you were certain there was room to get even closer. Mara, Can didn't know that they were 13. You joined Cove on your bed, taking a seat across from him. He smiled at you again, but you could tell this time it was half-hearted. He was still easy to read. Though he didn't want to talk about his mom and dad, he must be thinking about what happened and what's about to happen. You smile at him, put a hand on his shoulder, patted his back, hugged him, took his hand in yours, nudged him with your foot. Wish I had that build at 13 or ever. Yeah, so the thing that we were talking about was like, everyone being like, what 13-year-olds look like this? And I was like, 13-year-old boys who are really into sports and have dads that encourage them to be into sports. Because like, he's been into like running and water and like surfing and all that shit since he was a kid. So he's been surfing for at least 5-6 years, as well as whatever other sports he does. We're going for the chaste 13-year-old handhold. Let's fucking go. He even went jet skiing that one time. Yeah, that's how he broke his arm. You easily were able to reach out and gently hold his hand. It wasn't much, but you hoped the contact helped, even a little. Cove blinked, startled, before his expression softened into something more natural. Conversation was stilted and broken, often by silence at first. Then both of you were able to get into your usual candor. Oh my god, they're shy at each other. This is fucking adorable. As your secret hangout session stretched on, you thought that you truly wanted to keep having moments like this with him. Uh-huh. You hoped a day would never come when life decided that the two of you would have to part ways, and you knew Cove felt the same. To be young and gay. Cute. You opened your tired eyes, groaning as they adjusted to the bright light that was streaming through your window and warming your peachy skin. With a loud yawn, you rolled away from the sunlight and blinked a couple times, clearing the sleep from your eyes, before realizing with a start that it was actually morning. You couldn't remember even falling asleep. Cove had crept through your window during the night, and the two of you spent time together, trying not to wake your parents. You must have fallen asleep while you were hanging out, but couldn't put your finger on exactly when. You wondered how late Cove had stayed before heading home. You rubbed your face and yawned again, contemplating whether you should get out of bed and get ready for the day, or stay snuggled up for a little while longer. Until your gaze landed on an instantly recognizable mop of pale green hair, and you bolted upright and gasped in surprise. He never left. He was still there in the morning. Uh-oh! Busted, kids! Cove, you laughed out loud, you jumped out of bed, you froze. Cove. Pint is like, oh, they're in so much shit, and Sombra's like, it's too cute. Music got all intense all of a sudden. Yeah, because Cove was not supposed to be here overnight. He had fallen asleep while sitting on the ground and precariously leaning his head against the side of your mattress. With your shout, Cove's eyes snapped open and his head slipped from its source of support. He didn't stop going down until he smacked right into the floor with a crack. Oh no! You clamped a hand over your mouth and looked down at him with wide eyes, curled up where he had landed, rather ungracefully. Ow! You laughed quietly, you laughed loudly. Are you okay? You helped him up. Shh, my mums are gonna hear us. Here. Cove complied by putting his hand in yours, and you helped him back to a sitting position. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm alright. If either of you found out Cove had slept here tonight, the two of you would be in big trouble. Uh-huh. Cove blinked at you a couple times, his eyes growing in panic as some thought that only he could hear settled in his mind.
Oh my god!
Yes! That voice crack. Oh my god, I fell asleep. You weren't exactly sure what to do as you watched Cove pace your room, looking around frantically. Cove stopped mid-step. You wanted to ask what he had been searching for, but you guessed he wouldn't know the answer to that himself. Oh, but it's adorable. It's so adorable. Despite that, he hadn't calmed down completely. Gay panic plus actual panic, it's true. The combo. The atmosphere was still frazzled. They don't look 13. Then you get a voice line. Oh my god! Yeah, it's great. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna be in so much trouble. Just calm down. You just need to leave before anyone notices you're here. If they knew, we would have heard about it already. Cove nodded, and his shoulders tensed as he fixed you with a firm stare with his turquoise eyes. Letting out a heavy sigh, he ran a hand through his hair in exasperation. He couldn't look at you again as he spoke. I'll see you later. You were confused by how all this had played out, but hoped it was true. Right. Bye, Cove. At that, you were suddenly wrapped in a tense embrace. As panicked as he was, this seemed to be something that he couldn't forget before leaving. Thanks, again. You're my best friend, Cygnus. He firmly whispered the words into the top of your shoulder. But you were let go before you had a chance to respond or even fully react. In a matter of seconds, he had climbed over your bed and opened the window. A cool breeze rolled off the ocean, fluttering through Cove's hair and filling your room with its salty scent. Cove fearlessly stepped out onto the ledge. You wished him luck. You rallied to keep him going. You suggested he sneak out the door instead. You urged him to hurry up. Good luck! I give you bard luck! Good luck. Be super careful. You weren't sure if he heard you or not, but he kept going along, one foot in front of the other with increasing speed until his form disappeared out of sight. If he breaks his arm again, I swear to God. You stuck your head out the window as far as it could go, trying to keep watch. He walked the full length of the ledge before jumping down to the top of the garage and then lowering himself onto the fence. From there, he finally dropped down to the ground. You threw up a thumbs up at his successful climb. He ran off towards his house without stopping, disappearing behind the side of another building. You had to admit that you were pretty impressed at how doable he made that look. With a little sigh, you reclosed your window. Deciding there was nothing more you could do, you hopped off your bed and got ready to head downstairs for the day. You checked yourself in your mirror, put on slippers, made your bed, just left. Slippers! You know it was summer, but your slippers were comfy and cozy and made you feel better whenever you wore them. You took the stairs, slowly attempting to mask your face into a look of innocence. You were sure that someone would have come into your room if they had heard anything strange, but you couldn't be too careful. You had to play it cool. Does Cygnus wear swan slippers? That or like goose. Definitely or goose slippers. Uh-oh. Why do I feel like Elizabeth knows? Why do I feel like Elizabeth knows? When you stepped into the living room, Elizabeth was there, tapping her finger on the counter. Good morning, Elizabeth. She looked over at you immediately, her eyes squinting at the greeting.
Why?
Just, why? Why are you being so weird? You hadn't even done anything. Your big sister never missed a beat, unfortunately. You turned and offered a tight smile, Her lips pursed together even tighter. Cygnus? You excitedly blurted it out. You folded. Sorry, wouldn't you like to know? You clammed up. You shrugged it off. No, we're shrugging it off. I'm not. You spoke so nonchalantly, you almost thought she believed you, but you knew better. Further suspicious squinting occurred as she waited for something. Sus. Yeah. Ultimately, she rolled her eyes, and you weren't sure if you were in trouble or not. She didn't seem to care enough to dig any further. Whatever. Then she walked straight out the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and you let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang out with her friends from school around town. Today, you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace and alone. Your moms were both out by the time you had gotten up. They left you a serving of food from the breakfast they made. Hash browns, an omelet, fruit salad, and there were a few sausage links. Took a little bit of everything. Passed on some parts you're trying to avoid meat. You can be vegetarian or vegan. But no, we are not. We eat fucking everything. It was tasty. You appreciated there was variety in the meals your moms made. The day lazily drifted by at home, and eventually your parents returned. That's a huge breakfast. That's the type of breakfast I like to fucking make. That's the kind of breakfast I like to make on the weekends. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering in the frosty air for a moment or two before grabbing a bottle of ice-cold water and taking a long drink. It was a perfect, balmy summer afternoon, and you decided to head outdoors and find something to do. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. I definitely do that, but it's a high spoon task. Fair enough, Alice. Cooking for me, especially cooking breakfast, isn't very spoon intense. I love cooking breakfast. Gonna have to go to sleep soon because you're becoming zombified. Have to, not heave to. Sombra, that is super valid. It is fucking late as hell for you. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he left that morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Good night, Sombra. Thank you so much for being here, as always. Appreciate you. Would it be bad to go over to his house right now, or to call him to check in? You stepped out of your house, still stuck in an internal debate with yourself, when a voice got your attention. Hi, Cygnus. Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognizable woman was waving at you, a friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memory for where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. The C in Cygnus stands for gay. Not your school, or from the country club your moms took you to. You had absolutely no idea who the woman was. The woman crossed the road towards you. Why do I feel like this is Cove's mom? Because I feel like Cove's mom is going to be introduced the same way Cove's dad was, by being a weirdo that just walks up to us. The mom crossed the road towards you, and you were a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back to the house and lock the door. Holy shit. That is 500% Cove's mom. That is 5,000% Cove's mom. If that is not Cove's mom... And then everybody died. And then everybody died. Hi, where are you staying? Let's make sure that... Okay, let's make sure... Hi, sorry, does that mean... Yeah, you're good. Let's see if I'm right. I think I am right, though. Oops, I'm sorry. Was that presumptuous? I've heard about you, but you have no idea who I am, do you? You shook your head and she removed her sunglasses to reveal sparkly ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden, she seemed a little more familiar. My son lives here, and my ex, too. With a bent smile, she lifted a hand to point to the condo across the street from your own house. She was Cove's mom. I doxed myself to her, not gonna lie. Oh my god. Alright, everybody, all together on one. Cove's mom has got it going on. This game is just like... This game could also be called Our Life. MILFs and DILFs. Like, holy shit. You didn't know why you hadn't realized sooner, now that you'd gotten a good look at her. She seemed nice, she seemed sort of strange, she looked really young, it made sense that she was Cove's mom, she felt so different to Cove, she was super pretty. Milfapalooza! Ha! Sunday, 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 welcome to Milfapalooza! You pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Edge. I don't know why all the parents in this game are unbelievably gorgeous, but yeah, it's true. She seemed nice. I mean, she seems nice enough so far. She was super pretty. This beautiful lady was Cove's mother? Wow. I'm trying not to do the generic Twitter reply, and it's so hard. What, looking respectfully? Which generic Twitter reply are we talking about? It was kind of crazy how both his parents were that good looking. No matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she'd appeared here so suddenly. Cove mentioned she was coming, but you hadn't got the impression it would be the very next day. She extended a hand again, this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers in front of your face and the assortment of bracelets that dangled from her wrist. So glad Cove and you have a good relationship. He'll be a great stepson. Canned? No. No. Our Life, looking respectfully. Oh my god, y'all. I will not stop. I'm Kira Priest. Kira Priest. Okay. Okay. I can't believe this is the game that made everyone down bad. Kyra? I don't understand how you are correcting me here, Mara. Look, Azura and I were down bad in Yakuza 2. I mean, people were down bad in Yakuza 2. That reads like Kira with... Yes, like, that, okay. That also doesn't help. I don't know how to pronounce that name either. Like, Mira? See, but Yakuza doesn't hit that sapphic mark. It's true, Alice. Yakuza is for the gays, but for the gay men. This is sapphic delight. Long Y. Kyra. Okay. Talking I or E. Talking I or E. Kira or Kyra? Kyra, thank you. Kyra Priest. There we go. We got there. You were just responding with not this, but you were giving me no pronunciation guide. So I was like, brain does not. Shook hand. I'm a polite young man. I shake hands. Especially when they've been offered. You reached out and took her hand, and she shook yours firmly, grinning wide. I'm Cygnus, but you already know that.
That I do.
That I do. Cove's mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Cygnus. I'm still not okay. Why is she so... Cove talked to you about his mom. He hadn't mentioned how he said things about you to her, though. What has Cove said about me? Kara. Afrantum, welcome in. Hello. I'm also not okay, and you've played 300 hours of this. Are you a fan of this game, Afrantum? Thank you for coming in. They didn't have to give her that sun tattoo, but they did, and I'm so much gayer for it. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, I can't tell you that. I've already said too much. She laughed good-naturedly. You couldn't be happy about that answer, though. They gave her everything! Oh, they do the most here. I see, we are also on the Hot for Kyra train, which is valid. All the moms are just... Ah! The sound of a door opening and closing caught both your attentions, and when you turned towards the sound, it was to find Cove exiting his house, his eyes skimming the ground. That Predator handshake meme, except it's WLW shaking with MLW over Kyra. It is lesbians and pans and bis and straights. It's just everybody all shaking hands with Hot for Kyra. Cove, 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 Cove. Cove is great too. Sun tattoo to show you where to lay your head. Oh my god, Pint. Oh. His eyes skimming the ground. Cove is love, Cove is life. Welcome in, I'm glad you're here. This is my first time playing, this is really fun. Bonk, but like, yeah, it's true, it's true. Let's get a bonk in there. Considering how tall he'd grown, you kind of figured his mom...
You fall.
Waterboy, Cove, my Holden, there you are. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Considering just how tall he had grown, you kind of figured his mom also would be tall. But she was much more on the short side for an adult anyway. Cove's height must have come from his father.
My baby.
My baby! That's adorable. There you are. I thought you were going to keep me standing out here all day. You tried to catch Cove's eye as he walked towards you, but his gaze was firmly fixed on the sidewalk. When he finally crossed the road and looked up, he gave you a pitiful look. After the way he acted last night, you knew he must be feeling pretty mixed up about this. You tried to wordlessly express that you understood. Cove and I are heading into town to grab something to eat while the snore is at work. Oh boy. Gods, there's an Instagram channel of just really bad photoshopped edits of Cove by a person who hasn't played Our Life but hears about it 24/7 by their friend. Oh my god, that sounds hilarious. Also, we have our first red flag to grab something to eat while the snore is at work. That is your first red flag. Whoa, what happened to Cove? 5 years happened. 5 years happened, bae. So we are now 13, although, you know, age ray on all the art because everybody looks... Basically, the art in this game, everybody either looks like 3 years older or 10 years younger. Like, all the moms look all the parents look 10 years younger than they should be. Cove and Kyra look like sisters. It's true. It's fucking true. Like, all the kids look about 5 years older than they should be, and all the parents look about 10 years younger. Kyra beamed at Cove and ruffled his hair, which only seemed to upset him more. You assumed the snore that she was talking about was Mr. Holden. Good morning, Kate. Hello, welcome in. I'm still at work. I'm already trying to look for something else. Oh shit, bae. I hope you can find something that worked for you. How you doing, Kate? Good to see you. Cliff looks like a mom. Cliff is amazing. I fucking love Cliff. Hey, you should come with us, Cygnus. I'd love to get to know you better. Yeah, you should come. Cove outwardly being like, you should come, that is the Cove signal for, Please fucking help me. Oh my god, please just fucking help me, Cygnus. This is so bad. Help. Help me, please. Like, I'm doing it while I'm here, but I want to get out ASAP before I get stuck. Hell yeah, bae. Do what you gotta do. Take the job, take the money, then find a better job and keep moving. I believe in you. That is the right move. There was a pleading in his tone that you couldn't miss. Of course, we'll run it by your parents first. Responsibility and all that. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. That's right. It's Fred Durst Friday on a Wednesday. Technically, from that perspective, Cove has two moms. It gives us one more thing in common. I like Mr. Holden. I think he's great.
Any whoosies?
Did she just say any whoosies? Hang on. Whoa. Did she just say any whoosies? Who is this lady? Cove is looking at you like Code Seafoam. Code Seafoam! Go, 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 go! Oh, she's a mom. Yeah. Peach Kid 90, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Gosh darn it, Kyra. It'll give me an excuse to meet them, which I need to do at some point. It's important to be neighborly if I'm going to be roosting on this street for the time being. Any whoosies, let's go. Kyra walked ahead towards your house, and you hung back with Cove, who crinkled his nose as he watched her.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about her, but I really do want you to come. I don't want it to be just the two of us. Not right now. Definitely got that live, laugh, love decor. I would not be surprised if Kyra has a live, laugh, love tattoo. And I would not be surprised if Kyra had a live, laugh, love tattoo in a certain place on her back, just above the pant line. I would not be surprised if that existed. I want it to be just the two of us. Absolutely. You leaned in closer and whispered while checking around for anyone who might hear. What happened? Did your dad know you were gone? Cove shook his head and sighed heavily. Dad was so focused on Mom showing up that he didn't even notice. I thought when I heard them on the phone last night that it was something they were planning for the future. This morning, Dad said it was supposed to be a surprise, and I guess I was surprised. She's gonna be here all summer. All summer. All fucking summer. 2 months? 3 months? Yo, you can't just spring that on a kid. Oh. You were surprised to hear that too. Yeah, no shit. You can't just spring that on a kid. Cove sighed even heavier. I'll go with you if you really want me to. He smiled, his shoulders relaxing a little in relief. Thanks, that'd be cool. That leads like months of mental prep. Yeah, going from like maybe seeing your mom like a couple weeks a year for 5 years to suddenly bam, 3 months overnight. That's intense. The two of you headed over to where Cove's mom had just knocked on your front door and stood behind her. There she is. Uh-oh. Are we gonna get like the triple mom screen? Are we gonna get triple mom? Mom answered the door after a minute, her eyebrows lifting in surprise at the group she found in front of her. You realized that, like you, she would have no idea that it was Cove's mom who was hanging out with you. The bun does things to me. Hell yeah, Alice. However, after blinking at the woman a couple times and looking between her and Cove, the realization seemed to strike on her. Hello there, I'm Pamela.
I see.
I see you've met my kid Cygnus, and I'm guessing you've already known Cove for a little while. Moms! We love good moms. Kyra laughed, and you and Cove exchanged looks at your parents' weird sense of humor. I'm Kyra Priest, Cove's mom. It's so nice to meet you. And there's mom number 3. Triple mom. Over mom, double mom, triple mom, mambo combo. They're here. A head of purple brown hair caught your eye as Ma popped up behind Mom, squeezing herself in beside her. Total Alice knockout. TKO. TKO, more like T-gay-o, am I right? Hey, we have company. I was wondering what all the commotion was. She grinned excitedly at Kyra. The two of them introduced themselves and shook hands.
Hello.
Hi, Cygnus, Cove. Cove smiled at Ma shyly, and she gestured a hand towards the living room. There's no use hanging around in the doorway. Why don't you come in? I'd love to, but I promised to take my son out to eat, and I wouldn't want to hold you up with a surprise visit. Aw, I understand. You're welcome to stop by anytime.
Of course.
I'll take you up on the offer when I can. Count on it. Would you mind too much if Cygnus went with Cove and I? My treat. We won't be driving, just a quick walk down the road. Sure, that sounds nice.
Have fun.
I hope you all have fun. You gave your moms a look, and they smiled at you fondly. You were happy. They were letting you go. You were annoyed. They just agreed like that. No, I'm happy. Thank you for the freedom. I'm beyond words at this point. Yeah, Alice, good luck. That's all I have to say. You could tell that Cove really needed the support, and you were ready to be there for him.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Oh my god. Expect us back in an hour or two. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Your parents waved goodbye to the three of you as you backed up onto the street. There was the sound of the front door closing behind you. Whoops. Let me know when you're going to post links, because we've had problems with bots before. No, you're good. You're not in trouble. We've had problems with bots posting links before, so I just have that in. But if you want to post a link, that's no problem. Alright, fire away. I'm pretty positive I saw some restaurants when I was in the taxi, not too far from here. Oh, weird. The link didn't work for me. The Instagram Cove. I'm going to see if I can get it to go. Maybe? Yeah. It doesn't seem to want to work for me when I click it. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me know if you grab a different link. Me? Mm-hmm. Is the link like this? Is that the account? Because I'll look it up. Cool. I'll see if I can find it on Insta. In the meantime, while that's loading up, I'm pretty positive I saw some restaurants when I was in the taxi, not too far from here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Crying isn't a choice, it's a lifestyle. That account is wild. I was just scrolling through it real quick. Yeah, there's a lot of them around. The answer was straightforward and the tone was curt. Cove was usually more lighthearted than that. Kyra put her hands on her hips and smiled at her son. Well, you sound like the area expert. Do you have any recommendations for a place nearby? What? Not really. Canned, have yourself a great night. Thank you for stopping by. Love you lots. Thank you for that honk. Kyra pouted at him a little and turned to you instead. How about you, Cygnus? Want to point me in the right direction? You shrugged. Not really. You nodded. Sure, I have a couple of favorites. You've been to a lot of places in town, and there were a couple that stood out from all the rest. Thank you for the hydrate. There's a Chinese restaurant that me and my family go to all the time. It's my mom's favorite. There's also a tropical themed place that tries to be sort of fancy. Both sound like a treat. I'll leave it to you to pick for us, since Cove is going through a phase over there. Sheesh, Kyra, chill. Getting the bonk for the Cove love. Yeah, that's fair. He huffed at her and turned his face away. Chinese restaurant, tropical themed place. You insisted Cove contribute to the decision. You insisted Kyra decide. We'll let Kyra decide. I've already tried both. You should be the one who chooses. You're so polite. Alright, let's hit up the fancy tropical place. I'm intrigued. Will you show us the way? You nodded, taking the lead of your little group as Cove and his mom followed behind. I don't like Cove. What do you want about? Together, the three of you left the neighborhood behind. The walk was about 15 minutes, and along the way, Kyra asked a lot of questions about the area. Cove was quiet most of the time, so you ended up answering her instead. You always force Cove to choose? I got the vibe that Cove really just wants to check out of this conversation, so I'm trying to draw attention away from him if I can. Kyra explained that she lived in a large city, but she loved how peaceful and relaxing everything seemed in Sunset Bird. The restaurant was busy as usual, but luckily you were shown right to a small table. Kyra lowered herself into the chair, while Cove picked the one diagonal to her, not facing her or to her side. It was awkward. Can ignore his mom, but not me. Let's see, to start, what would you all like to drink? I'll get an orange soda.
Noted.
Noted. Cygnus? Soda, milk, juice, coffee. No, don't start the coffee train yet, trust me, kid. But it's on her dime, and she's gonna spoil us, so I'm getting a soda as well. Which flavor? Cola, orange, grape, lemon lime, root beer, ginger ale. Root beer. Sure. Water. We love that hydration. Hydration station. Kyra placed the order for your drinks, getting a black hot coffee for herself, and it didn't take long before they were brought to the table and set in front of you. You took a long sip of your drink as you looked around the restaurant. Oh god, are we having water discourse in chat right now? Yes, we are! Alice is like, I will throw down for water. I mean, I'm hydrating. You told me to drink water. Water makes me gag. I worry about the water you're drinking, Phantom. Hey, Salt, ban them. I'm not banning somebody because they don't like water. I'm not banning someone because they don't like water. You don't drink water? I suggest it. Hydration is important. You took a long sip of your drink as you looked around the restaurant. I gag. Oof. Hey, Mara banned Salt for not banning them. Yeah, alright, Mara's banning me. Stream over. Good night, everybody. Your small group checked over the menus, deciding what to order. The last time you came here, the dish you ordered was amazing. You wanted to order something different this time. Kyra and... Sorry, I saw working on it at the corner of my eye and it made me laugh. Mara's saving up to get the crown, and then once she has the crown, she plans to usurp me. I see how it is. Hell yeah, get those salty emotes in here. Kyra and Cove didn't need any encouragement for this. They were totally focused on the information in front of them. No salt? Oh, it's just spilled salt. Salt is always welcome. Soon, the meals too were ordered and the menus taken away. You glanced at the table surface, waiting to figure out what to say. Cove sunk back further into his seat and avoided eye contact. He started to twiddle his thumbs while acting like all of this was perfectly normal. Yeah, there's Sodi. There's our rating, Sodi. We also have this beautiful Sodi. Look at that beautiful one. His sour feelings today were unignorable. Instead of asking more open questions he'd brush off, Kyra had mercy on her son and instead put her focus towards you. So, Cygnus, what's a few things that you're into? There's gotta be something for you to do for fun, especially now that you're not buried in your school assignments. Alright, let's decide what we like as a teen. First things first, music. Fun fact, canonically, Lefteris also plays the drums. Because Lefteris is a Rock Band character who plays the drums, so... Let's go. I only get to practice at school and stuff, though. The zero chill response. Yeah, hell yeah. I listen to a lot of it. I have an MP3 player at home that my mom helped me put some music on, and I've seen some concerts. Awesome. And always first choice. Give Cove, love Cove. Oh my god, you are so hyped. Forfeit all mortal possessions to go. You really, really want me to say I'm really into Cove? Oh my god. I write things. A fellow writer. Oh my god, Kyra's a writer. Writing's a great form of expression, don't you think? Kyra sighed wistfully, her eyes going soft. Games are fun. I like to play board games. Video games. Don't know much about them, maybe you can show me sometime. And card games. And... there are so many options here. I go to the beach. And swim. You must be a strong swimmer since you live so close to the ocean. I find the water a little scary, but I like to dip my toes sometimes. I think Mara is just concerned about the intensity. That's all. Alright. Are we saying, and I'm really into Cove? I feel like Cove will kill us if we say that, though. I am not intense. Immediate all. I am not intense. Yes, 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 yes. This one I might actually save Scum on, I'm not gonna lie. I want to see what happens, but if I don't like the reaction, I will reload. Kyra let out a sudden laugh, and Cove gasped beside you. It was a dramatic enough inhale that he almost choked on the soda. You shrugged at the reaction. It was a truthful answer to the question. Cygnus. Cove whispered at you disapprovingly, obscuring the part of his face with his hand, but Kyra only waved him off and encouraged you to go on. We spend time together when we can. I like it. Well, we have something in common. Kyra smiled at Cove, who didn't look too impressed by either of you at that moment. Anyway, before I came on here, I slept for 11 hours, and then I just woke up and decided to come here. Welcome in. Glad you found the stream. Appreciate it. Nice to have friends and family to spend time with, and that's it.
Thanks.
Thanks, I'm happy to learn more about you. There's so much I hadn't heard. Cove leaves the details out. He was trying not to pay attention, but you could tell he was uncomfortable. Hoping it would clear some of the tension in the air, you decided to ask Kyra a few questions of your own. Cove hadn't told you much about her, and you were curious to know more about this woman who was such a big part of his life. What exactly do you do for work? I'm a travel writer for magazines and things. I keep people in the loop on what's worth seeing. It's good work. Wow. What do you like to do? Where do you live normally? Are you in a new relationship now? Why did you and Mr. Holden get divorced? Sheesh. What do you like to do? Spend time with my little boy, of course, and traveling. A real shock, huh? Where do you live normally? Nevada. Have you ever been there? Oh my god, of course she's from fucking Nevada. You shook your head. It's a beautiful place. Check it out if you can. I do not feel comfortable asking either one of these questions. Couldn't bring yourself to ask another question. It didn't seem to bother her that the conversation had dropped off. Cove sipped his soda angrily, slurping the remaining drink with furrowed brows. He looked ready to run straight out of the restaurant. You weren't sure if coming along had ended up making the lunch better or worse. Made a silly face at him, you smiled at him, you gave him a sympathetic look, you flicked his straw wrapper at him, you left him alone. Yeah, I never asked those questions, it's too much. I'm gonna smile at him. Eventually, Cove noticed you were watching him. It took a couple of moments, but finally he cracked a smile, and that made you feel a little lighter inside.
Very cute.
You two seem really cute together. Man, Kyra also immediately picks up on it. Literally everyone immediately is like, these two are gay. Cove covered his face with his hands and leaned back in his seat.
Seriously?
Ugh, Mom, why would you say that? You felt bothered too. You blushed. Thanks, we are cute. You just laughed. Kyra, Lamau, gay ass. Yeah, I'm gonna be an embarrassed 13-year-old boy too. The way she had said that had embarrassed you. You weren't prepared to have Cove's own mother describe the normal interaction the two of you had as cute. Your meals were delivered shortly after that, and everything was delicious. Even Cove enjoyed his food.
Okay.
Alright, now that we're all fully content, can you please explain why you've had a bug up your butt all day? Cove's face scrunched at that. Seriously, baby, what did Mom do to make you this mad? I haven't even been around a full day yet. He gripped the edge of the table, refusing to make eye contact. The words he spoke were barely audible over the din of the restaurant. You could have told me. She leaned forward not to miss anything else, eyebrows raised. You're gonna go? Afrin Tom, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for the follow. I hope you have a wonderful night. Take care. Told you what? He finally seemed to find his voice and spoke the thoughts that had been on his mind. That I wasn't going to visit you this year. That you were going to be coming instead. Didn't you invite me? You wanted me here with you. Cove's eyes began to shake and his frustration ebbed. I do want you to be around, but I didn't know it would be like this. It's not the same, and nobody said anything.
I see.
I see. Her expression grew tense. She threaded her fingers together and placed her hands in front of her on the table. We've both been gifted another Clifford surprise. Oh no! Did Cliff arrange this and not actually tell either of them? Referring to that as a Clifford surprise almost caused both you and Cove to crack a smile. You also had no idea his name wasn't just Cliff. Over 5 years, nobody had ever called him Clifford until now. She smoothed her hair out, not letting go of her stern look. The more things change, the more they stay the same. They let out identical sighs, but smiled weakly at one another afterwards. Clifford the big red dot, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I can go home, Cove. We can still set up a normal trip to my place before the summer ends. Cove's lips tightly closed together. He seriously pondered the option.
I mean...
I think I do want you to stay. I miss it when you're not here. My heart. She reached across the gap, grabbed his face, and planted a kiss on his cheek. Cove tried to wiggle away. Mom, stop. I'm sorry, sweet young men need to be smooched by their parents. If I don't, they'll take away my mom license. Kyra was completely enthused by Cove's admission, though a tone of seriousness did return to her voice when the conversation continued. Do you want to talk to your dad too?
No.
No. Cove snapped the word instantly, but reeled his annoyance back just as quickly. Maybe later, not today.
It's all right.
I understand. We can shelve it. Thanks, Mom. Thank you for talking to me, little mister. She grinned affectionately at him before turning your way. And thank you, Cygnus. Huh? What did I do? It's easy to act like a baby with your mom. It's harder to keep that up with your neighbor watching everything. Especially when you really care what said neighbor thinks of you. She winked. Mom! She just ruffled his hair with a laugh and then moved her head down to tap the end of his nose. And that was how the issue was resolved, at least between Cove and his mom. When the three of you left the restaurant, and Kyra had paid the bill, you walked back to your neighborhood slowly. You hadn't eaten so much by that time, and you were beginning to feel... You had eaten so much by that time, you were beginning to feel sleepy. It didn't help that the lunch happened late, and the sun was already beginning to descend from the sky. But eventually... Holy shit! Hi, Cliff. Oh wait, he's a man. I forgot, dude. Cute as heck. He's cute as fuck. Man, these parents just age like fucking fine wine. Holy shit. But eventually you reached your street. Someone was there to greet your group upon arrival. Welcome back, family. And Cygnus too.
Huh.
Cliff. Dad. He really let his hair down. Yeah. The two walked past him into the condo without sparing another word. Despite the summer heat, their shoulders were cold. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. He rubbed the back of his neck with a crooked smile, but his eyes were soft as he looked on after them. He's so much like his mom, don't you think? You gave a vague nod, not sure what he was expecting you to do. He nodded back, far more energetically. Okay, have a nice night, Cygnus. You too, Mr. Holden. With that, Cove's dad disappeared to join the others inside. It was your turn to go home now. Summer hadn't started off at all how you imagined it would have, though it turned out to set the tone well. Having Kyra in the neighborhood was a new experience for not only you and Cove, but also both your families. And a dull moment was rarely had. Boom. And that is the intro to this section. And that is also going to be streamed. I was originally planning for this to be a slightly shorter stream because I started late, and then that section was longer than I expected it to be. That is a hell of an intro. Holy shit. It was awesome, though. It was lots of fun.